lock that?
Yes, sir.
You going back in?
There's still men out there. God damn. When I go home, people ask me, hey, who? Why do you do it, man? Why? Some kind of war junkie? I won't say a goddamn word. Why? They won't understand. They won't understand why we do it. They won't understand it's about the men next to you. And that's it. That's all it is.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, #1 listener-supported radio, the printing press for freedom at a time when freedom is needed the most. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. Join me at Revolution Radio, Studio B, at 11 a.m. on Saturday for free association, when we take a look at philosophy, spirituality, psychology, social issues, and geopolitics. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Studio B at freedomslips.com.
What is going on here? I demand an explanation.
We work for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency.
An intelligence organization that fears intelligence, historically not awesome.
The United States is a democratic nation. Here the people rule. We build no walls to keep them in, nor organize any system of police to keep them mute.
Freedom isn't free at all, but it comes with the highest of costs.
We have you, the listeners, and the hosts at
Revolution Radio.
for allowing us to bring you a platform of free speech.
Right now, it's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines,
clock's run out. Time's up. Wind is blowing cold and dark. On the road and no way out. Broken house, a smoking gun. On the run. On the run.
Hello, I'm from the US government. Does something feel wrong in the world, but you can't put your finger on it? Are you yearning to fight injustice and be part of something bigger? Do you do your own research? If so, you've been chosen to participate in our new psyop. QAnon. Psyops are usually carried out by our intelligence agencies in countries we've invaded or whose governments we've overthrown, in order to convince the local population that we're there to help them. QAnon is just like that, except the target isn't a foreign population. It's you. And the government we're planning to overthrow is Follow the white rabbit. At the heart of this psyop is Q, a government insider who will give you advance warning about major events, like the arrest of Hillary and deep state leaders, which never happened, and the end of the Democratic Party in 2018, who actually went on to win the House that year. And if years of fake predictions start to get you down, don't worry. Trust the plan. The best part of this psyop is you'll believe you're in a psyop, except that's not the psyop you're actually in, but the psyop where we let you think you're in a psyop. Psyopception. All we have to do is tell Il Duce to say tip top next to a white rabbit.
Sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios. It's time for the very first ever Southern.
We're hot. Welcome to the show. It's Friday night. And Into the Microcosm is on the air.
Jimmy, there's something up with your soundboard. No music or anything is coming through, but your mic's working.
Same here.
Yeah.
Sound
What?
like a robot. Sound like a robot. There's no sound other than me.
Sounds good on YouTube.
What are you saying?
YouTube sounds good, but Skype, there's no music. Back in audio, just fine.
Epic Journeyman, are you there? No? I don't hear you.
Jimmy, you're having audio problems.
What's that?
You're having audio issues. YouTube sounds normal, but the Revolution Radio is getting no sound, and neither are we.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. That must be a Skype issue. so I really can't help you. Nothing's here is different, so I don't know what's wrong. I'll try hanging up on Revolution Radio and restarting the thing. Let me see here. You guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I hear you all fine too. So I don't understand what's wrong. You don't hear the music? What is it? You don't hear this? Do you hear this?
Yeah. No, we don't hear
no music. We can hear your microphone. All we hear is your microphone. So no music, no. We can hear each other.
Yeah,
but can't hear you.
You use OBS, Jimmy?
Yeah, I got issues, man. Listen, over here on YouTube, I got no chat. So I'm in the studio. I'm in YouTube's screen. No chat. If I go to the chat, if I go to the show on YouTube, on my Safari browser, and go to the show being played right now, the chat's not there. The chat is there on my iPad, and I can see it fine right here. I can see it.
We see it, and YouTube sounds great.
Yeah.
YouTube sounds perfect. Yeah.
So, problem is that we go out over Revolution Radio, which is on Skype. So,
right.
You know,
maybe disconnect and reconnect.
I disconnected already. Why don't you try?
Me too.
Why don't you?
I did too.
No, I disconnected from the station. Why don't you try to reconnect to the station, Rio, from your computer?
All right, let me see.
All
But
right.
that's still we still weren't hearing the music from you.
Well, I mean, I don't know why you're not hearing it, because there's nothing. I haven't changed a thing. I haven't done a thing. So I'm not sure why.
Part of the subject for tonight's show, I believe, actually, the censorship in UK, right?
Yeah, part of it. Are you connecting, Rio, or what? No?
Yeah.
You're sitting
Well, it did. It just connected me solo, though.
All right, never mind. You have to go down there and add it. I'm going to add it right now. Here it goes. Go check Revolution Radio right away, please. Hey, we're trying to get this thing connected for some reason. There's something going on. On YouTube, everything's fine. Over here, it's not. Something's going on with the Skype's connection. So it's Revolution Radio, fully listener supported. Come on down and become supporters. Especially for this particular reason right here.
No, we got nothing.
Yeah, nothing?
Let's just drop this whole call and start over.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, here we go. Here we go. I'm out. Start it over. Here we go. Everybody hang up. I don't know, man. I'll tell you what, though. I'm not gonna dick around for too long. So I'm definitely not in the mood for this shit at all. I'll tell you that. So stand by, everybody. Let's see if we can get this thing going again. Let me see here. What am I going to do first? Let me connect Rio first so you can check Revolution Radio. Here we go. Yeah.
All right, I'm here.
All right. Do you hear? Hang on a second. Before we connect Revolution Radio, do you hear this?
Q-proof. Joining QAnon is easy.
Yes, now I hear QAnon.
Okay. I haven't changed a thing.
Yeah, maybe Skype was just out of whack or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Or something in the
Some
computer
fucking
glitch.
shit going on with this thing, man. I tried to get this chat thing squared away before the show, and YouTube chat was dicking me around. I couldn't take a picture of it. It actually said to me, "Here, let's get this thing back on the road here." Yeah. All right, everybody, just stand by. Let me get something going here. Stand by. Here we go. Stand by.
for food.
You got it, man.
All right. It's into the microcosm. Apparently there's technical difficulties going on. Welcome to the show.
It's radio. You know what I mean? So the meteor shower is the radio shower. It proceeds.
Yeah. Well, hey, you were mentioning right there before we got on the air that it's been a year since the Maui fires. It's been an
yesterday was the anniversary.
So what happened?
August.
What did you guys do over there? Did you celebrate? Did you drink some beer?
Well, no, we didn't celebrate. No. What they did was they closed off the road partly and let the guys paddle out and do a paddle out ceremony. Mm-hmm. And paddle out canoes and paddle boards, surfboards and stuff, and go out offshore. And say a blessing. We did a blessing with the company out at the beach, and had a lunch afterwards and stuff. It was cool. All the people who came out. We had people come out from California, come out from New Mexico, come out from the Big Island. The people in the islands that came out and helped out. We had no power. We had no radio. We had nothing. Right? I mean, we're just in the dark over here.
Jeez.
And had been up for days straight, right? They sent some help out for us. So all the people came out and helped out. They came out, and we commemorated the event. So that was cool. I mean, that was a good thing to do, and it was interesting because we finally got most of the debris cleared, right? And they're just starting to rebuild some houses and stuff. It's been a year later. I mean, to the date yesterday, and but it's gonna still be a while before things, opening up over there.
Well, man, that's probably about as easy going as it's going to get tonight. I'll tell you that. Because we got
lots going on in the world right now.
There's a lot going on in the world. The fever pitch is just literally, I mean, we are on fire right now. And today, I was taking a listen to Rents. That's about the only show I even check in on anymore for a listen. And I happened to catch, I pop in and see who's on there, and I happened to pop in today and catch Dr. Carlstrom on there.
Oh, how's he doing? It's been a long time. I wonder what happened to him.
Yeah, well, he's still there. He did, he was a...
He's down in Mexico. Last I heard from him.
Well, he was getting more. He was changing his focus away from targeted individuals and this type of information over to this global warming idea, or this climate change idea, and he did a whole thing on it. But realistically, he is, I would say, the OG of information on targeted individuals and mind control and technology and this and that. So during his discussion, I happened to write down a few things and that he said, and I went ahead and found some stuff about it, and we'll get into some of that in the second hour. But the first hour here is typically where we we see what's going on now. The first thing I saw going on, Rock and Rio, and I don't know if you saw this, dude, but did you see the plane spiraling down to the ground in Brazil? Bruce, did you see the plane that fell out of the sky? Planes are falling out of the sky, everyone, in case you didn't know. Just like the movie Knowing. Remember that movie?
You guys can tell me to watch it. I haven't watched it yet. I feel guilty now.
It. No, seriously, you have not watched it yet?
Not because I didn't want to. I just want to watch the whole thing. Like, it comes on HBO and stuff. You don't have to pay for it, right? But I always catch it after it already started. So I have to keep waiting, catch it from the beginning.
Rock and Rio, did you see the plane fall out of the sky? Is he still here?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, down in Brazil.
He was amazed by it. He was blown away, ladies and gentlemen. He couldn't believe his eyes.
Well, I mean...
unbelievable.
All I know is that there was a crash. I don't know anything.
You didn't
see anything sus about it, but
you didn't see the video.
No,
then you don't know what I'm talking about, do you?
Oh, I saw a picture of what happened on the ground, but I did not see the plane actually.
It's just a slow spin. Wow.
It's more closely aligned with that more recent movie, Leave the World Behind.
Yeah,
we were gonna bring that up in the movie. I mean, in the show last week, actually. Week or the week before last. Yeah.
No, we did bring it up because what happened? There's something else happened the other day. Everybody lost control of some shit, didn't they?
Yeah.
Everybody lost control.
Yeah, they lost control when that Windows thing popped out. Remember that? It was a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yep.
Yeah, and all these different corporate Windows machines were shutting down all over the place, and shit was going, and that's when
It took 3 days for Delta Airlines to get back online. Yeah.
Yeah, planes were flying out of the sky. Bruce.
So I noticed. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Bruce. I was just saying, did you see the thing?
I was gonna say, yeah, I saw it all. I was just gonna say, I noticed Mr. Rowe's on with us.
Yeah, Mr. Rowe is going to join us tonight.
I heard.
Is he here now?
He is here.
He's here.
Fantastic.
I heard he's getting on a magic carpet. And
He
he's
is.
pulling the plug on the United States of America.
He is,
and that he's joining the intelligent immigrant class.
Well,
a decade after Bruce McDonald.
Yeah. Well, let's just
not too probably perfect timing.
Let's just say this. Let's say this too.
They got the bug out signal.
He is
time to go to the underground base.
And he is going to the secretive place that's hidden in plain sight that no one ever talks about. This is a secret place. Are you willing to share your destination with us tonight, Mr.
Sure.
Rowe? All right.
Sure.
Tell us where you're going. Where the hell are you going when you're leaving America? It must be someplace nice, someplace secret, a secret place.
Well, my ultimate destination, yeah, I'm going to stop in Spain and establish some things there, and then my destination for a little while, foreseeable, is the little island of Malta, where the surface world has the border with the underworld. It's cultural layer built on top of cultural layer, built on top of megalithic structure, built on top of ancient tunnels. It's pretty off the hook and crazy the more I look into it. But I'm going to have a little place over there. They have a short path to citizenship compared to other nations in the EU, and it's economically viable, the cost of living and all that. Plus, I've got some buddies and things, and so yeah, I mean, it's kind of it all fell into place. You kind of ask the universe to kind of show you a path and give you a few signs, and then it starts spitting them out at you left and right. I can take a hint, and so yeah, I'm just.
Well, now let me ask you this. Now, let me ask you this.
I was just going to ask quickly: Is John McAfee alive, Mr. Rowe? Is he with you? Is he going to be in Malta?
I cannot confirm nor deny response to that.
I have this gut feeling that guy's in Malta too. I don't know why. I do not believe that guy. Everybody says, "Oh, so and so, this is fake, that's fake." The Trump assassination attempt.
Yeah.
The one thing I do think is fake is John. He's like Kilgore from Apocalypse Now. You just know nothing's gonna happen to that guy.
Yeah.
It's gonna pop up sooner or later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when he, when this was originally put out there in the news, we looked at it, and Epic is a big tattoo enthusiast. So whenever something happens, some guys look at body language, other people do research. Epic, he immediately looks at tattoos. And remember the whole McAfee tattoo in Spain, and the artist, the painter, Epic Journeyman?
Do I remember? Yeah, I found the whole map that led to McAfee's hideout where they captured him.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, well, break it off.
In Catalonia.
Yeah, lots of people weren't here for that, so Bruce brought it up. Go ahead, bring that to the table.
So we talk about the Maltese Cross, and that actually plays. I was going to bring that up actually, because brought up Malta, and how it kind of ties in loosely to the Count of Monte Cristo, right? That's a fake island that Dumas wrote about, but so there's a traveler's cross, right? And that was a cross that was on the front of McAfee's chest. That's an old tattoo, right? It had the layers added on. You can see later. Like, what's that all about? I mean, what's it pointing to? What are these? The radiance, of it had certain arms like pointing different directions to other tattoos. And there's this one that's really strange on his shoulder, and it's like these kind of like looks kind of wicked when you first look at it, like these arches with these like kind of almost evil looking arches coming down with the pointy ends on it. Like, what the heck is that? And he was talking during the interview, his last interview before he was captured, with his wife, who's actually a prostitute that he married from the Caribbean, and they were married at the time. And he says, "Hey, what was the name of that architect? Oh yeah, Gaudi, right? Gaudi, yeah, Gaudi."
Right.
It emphasizes so much. Like, wait a minute, why would he even bring that up? And once you have that key to look at, yeah, that one on his shoulder is this pretty famous architectural wonder on the side of a cliff that Gaudi designed, right? And then you look at the other things on his arms and his chest and his back, and they reference places in Barcelona that are Gaudi pieces of art, right? And then there's one that's put on in a hurry. There's two. There's one on his other shoulder that says, what would it say? I don't have the picture.
Yeah, because it's spur of the moment.
Yeah, spur of the moment. But it was one he just threw on there. It was about his Bitcoin equivalent, his cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, that's what I was going to say to Ro now. So Ro.
Yeah.
So
but,
Ro.
yeah, before we get there, we'll go ahead. I'll
go ahead. No, go ahead. It was about crypto, but go ahead. Go ahead.
But then and then he made the saying that in that interview, right, that if anything happens to me, I didn't commit suicide, right? I didn't commit suicide, and then he has the other one on his back that basically says the same thing. When you put them all together, one's a cryptocurrency, which is where he was founded, is Catalonia. It was a hotel that he had turned in. It was an uninhabited hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That the whole basement turned to a crypto mining outfit for his coin that he was making.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and then the other things are from a book about Gaudi. And this is, I never got to bring the follow up to the table. I was going to go to Barcelona to check this out.
Right.
There's an actual book I have about Gaudi's works of art. That the back fold out of it is a map, and that map actually correlates exactly, triangulating to those tattoos. Man, it's badass.
Isn't that a trip? Rock Rio, remember this? Now Ro's going there, dude. You could give him.
Yeah, totally.
So make sure, Ro, give it to Ro during the show tonight.
Yep,
You got 3 hours.
I was thinking about that before you go, definitely.
You got 3 hours to dig it up, man. Throw it in this chat and give it to Ro. Now,
I did spend some time living in the Catalonia region in a place called Comaruga, which is near Tarragona.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
Back in the day.
What I find really interesting, a long time ago, I was talking to a really good friend of mine who, is deep into esoteric science and magic. And, we were having a conversation. And I like to, have conversations with him because I learned quite a bit, in those conversations. And I enjoyed those conversations quite a bit. And one night he said to me, he goes, "Man, you ever notice no one ever talks about Spain?" And I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, as a matter of fact, no one really ever does talk about it. They
don't talk about Malta either.
That's what I mean. It's like Hinduism. They don't talk about that either. They talk about Jews all day long, Christians, Catholics,
That's
Muslims.
Malta's a big thing, man. Yeah.
But they don't talk about Hinduism, and they don't talk about Spain. Now, Mr. Rowe, you're going over there. There's Antiquitech all over Spain, isn't there?
Oh, yeah. There's, Yeah, there's a lot of old ruins. There's a lot of star forts.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that the entire capital city, Valletta of Malta, is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The whole city. The entire city.
Buddy, welcome to the club, man.
Hey, yeah, it's a nice place.
You're copying me, dude.
Not by choice. It's just sort of the universe is just putting me in this.
Oh my God!
Listen, you are the winner. You're the big winner in the contest. And let me say this: McDonald's does one thing, dude. They make hamburgers over and over again. If Bruce is the model and he's the hamburger, all you got to do is make that hamburger over and over again, and you will be successful, just like Bruce. Won't you?
Yeah.
Bruce Burger.
The Bruce Burger.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you could start a burger joint up there on the mountain, Bruce.
Well, you know what I got going on now? I bought an oven about a year ago, like a gas oven.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, everything was just cooked in pans and pots, right?
Right.
And now they started making pizza about a year ago, and now it's like 3 pizzas a week.
Well, do you
Every time somebody shows up, I got to make a pizza.
Well, do you have this? Like a brick oven outside, like a brick pizza?
No. This is just like an actual manufactured oven powered by propane gas.
Why don't you get some Nicaraguans to build you a dome coal-fired pizza oven, dude? Instead of using that gas, you need to make it with a fire. Wouldn't you suggest it, Bruce? I mean,
yeah, possibly. I mean, that's a project I might undertake, but there's not a lot of I could do a cinder block one, but
No,
there's
look on
It's
YouTube.
very, very hard to find red brick here. But while we're on this topic of rustic invention, my sauna's finished. Like the final part is coming up tomorrow, and I had my Nicaraguan abaca cutters. They stayed an extra week after their last harvest here,
Right.
and I had them build me a cedar sauna, and it just sat there for 2 years. And then I got it in my head one day to start looking into this, and I looked at all the ways you could power a sauna without electricity.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that captured my imagination the most was converting a propane tank to a sauna heater, in a basket where you put the stones on the top, and you cut a hole in it, get some hinges, weld it all together, and just build an airtight door. And then you have to have a chimney going out. So it's coming in tomorrow. I contracted it out to be fabricated about 3 weeks ago, and it's all finished now. I got a lot of construction going on here. I got a big Laurel hardwood patio going out around the pool, and it's going to be a hillbilly condo up here, man.
Pool.
Hillbilly condo.
Jeez, got a pool and everything. So rock and roll.
More of a Roman bath, but yeah.
Well, Roman bath, and I'm just saying, don't forget about steam, dude. There's a thing, and I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but there's people that take those old clawfoot bathtubs, and you put them outside, and you build a pit underneath it, and you fill that pit with wood, and you start a fire, and you basically start boiling that water in that tub. Yeah, that's definitely the way to go. That's just one of the most killer experiences you're ever going to have, is sitting under the stars. And I'm sure up on the mountain there where Bruce is, the stars are out, all over the place.
Dude, this sauna is going to get so hot, and then there's a cold shower right beside it, so you can just go take a sauna at midnight, take a shower, another 10 minutes in the sauna, take a shower, just clean yourself right out, man.
All right.
It's a hillbilly condo.
It sounds killer. Now listen, Rock and Rio, I sent you this thing because Rock and Rio is among us here. He is the man of the who knows most about vehicles. Now, did you see this patent thing that Ford's putting together? It's going to snitch on you. They want to patent. Let me see. No. Let me go down here. Ford has a new patent called Systems and Methods for Detecting Speeding Violations that reveals that the company is looking at ways to automatically snitch on speeding drivers. A new report from Tech Radar shows. Ford's patent filing with the USPTO details a system using vehicles' cameras and sensors to detect speeding motorists and report them to authorities. Man, you see, the thing is like these devices.
Jimmy,
go ahead.
They've had a system that LexisNexis is metadata kind of and data collection broker, and they've been collecting. They had a deal with insurance companies, and the insurance companies have a deal with certain auto manufacturers to put in with the computer so that it knows if you are speeding, or if you have hard brakes and things like that, or how you drive the car. And so that the insurance company buys this data from the auto insurance company, and that sells it to LexisNexis, or actually the reverse. The LexisNexis buys the data and then sells it to the insurance companies, and they change your rates accordingly. And a woman found this out like accidentally, but it's just another way that they're kind of
well, the thing is too is like
more data points, more vectors of attack to just
It's interesting that you're bringing this up, because it's part of what we're going to be talking about next hour. Is this information, neuro-information networks, and but the thing is that all these devices have no loyalty to you. It's like you bought that car, you paid for it, man. But it's sitting there this whole time. And the thing is, and the other part about it is they go, hey, Bob, let me run a pilot program on your vehicles. Tell you what, I won't charge you for the pieces. And you just throw them on in there, and then let me test it. And then I'll give you all the data. How about that? But you got to share it with me. I'll just give you the component. You just throw it on in. You know what I mean? It's been in there doing this whole time. I've wondered this, I mean, do you guys remember there was a big fad with these remote controls and using these infrared to change the stoplights, make them green? You know what I mean? You guys remember those videos on YouTube? That kind of shit? Well, I mean, literally, at this point, there's sensors everywhere, and we have no idea. It's like you're just minding your own business, driving down this freeway, rolling the window down. You know what I mean? Looking over at your girlfriend, or you know what I mean? You're not your eyes. His eyes weren't on the wheel. He was looking at his girlfriend when the car skidded out of control.
Boxes,
Go ahead.
Those green boxes on street corners that control your stoplights, right? They have not only the control for your stoplight, but they're hooked up to the network. And they have, if you open up there's a bunch of technology in there. There's radar in there, and they have systems that can detect, vehicles and people walking, and log that data. Even people that are in cars, it's the technology is that sophisticated, and you can actually see the radar sensors. They look like there's these little tiny posts on top of the lights, or on the light things. And if you open these things up, I mean, it's crazy.
Grab your ID for me.
Oh, sorry about that.
The amount of technology that is in those green boxes and those silver boxes on the street corners. It really is. And you can jack into the network through there as well. And also they can be controlled remotely. So you can control all of the stoplights, but I find it interesting that it utilizes a radar system. Like they have a sort of an extra redundancy, and some people say that it's for the defense and infrastructure, that it goes beyond to just control the stop.
Literally literally today, after listening to this Dr. Karlstrom,
because movement, then even if nobody's driving on the cars, you can see pedestrians and whatever is moving in the area. Go ahead.
I was saying, I was listening to Dr. Karlstrom talking to Rents earlier today. And I jotted down some terms that he mentioned, and then I went and took a look at some of the information that he was talking about. And I mean, literally, we're at a point, seriously, where I'm going to bring some stuff to the table next hour, and I'll drop it in the chat here for you guys in a minute here, because I'm going to play a video that I think everybody should hear. In a minute here, but I'll drop some of this information into you guys over there. And I wanted to ask you guys a few questions now, because before we get to the next hour and before I get to these videos that I got stacked up here, we got more show than we got time tonight, and that's for sure. But let me ask you this now, and I'll start with you, Ro, because I know out of all the people here, you're probably one of the people that would have heard something about this. Now, about 6-8 months ago, there was some audio that was floating around out on the internet, and this was a woman who owned a hotel somewhere in the UK. And so what was happening was there was this influx of immigration into the UK, and the government was renting out all the available hotel or room space. And so they were just going in and just like whoosh, renting the whole hotel out, They come in and go, here's your money. Look, we're going to be shipping some stuff here, some supplies. Just, put those to the side and don't worry about that. Don't open this. This is private stuff here. We're going to ship some supplies. And so this woman who owned one of these small establishments, these crates had shown up. And so
yeah, I know where you're going with it. I thought it was a guy, but I know the story. Apparently, in the crates, there's a lot of weapons, right?
Right, exactly. And and so then there was this inference, and this is an invisible army, ladies and gentlemen. This is less than a Trojan horse, but very intense from a military perspective. Is to have an invisible force come in unarmed, with the arms already being, set up for these people in advance, so that
apparently the U.S. version is called Operation Trojan Horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, there's talk about these container. Oh, let me go back to this story with this woman. So
Yes, they did it at the Hajj. Remember when Osama bin Laden's father did the whole thing? And they seized it back in the 70s.
Go ahead, Epic Journeyman.
So in the 1970s, the guy who ended up trying to assassinate the Pope, remember that guy?
Right.
He was a Freemason. Went to the local chapter there in Rome. It had converted to another thing, but it had always been a Freemason lodge originally there. And Osama bin Laden's father, bin Laden the senior, he's had a cache of weapons and food stored at the Hajj right before that. People forget this part of history, and they seized the Hajj, for Saudi Arabia, right, the sacred site in Mecca, and they had like a stand down there, or standoff rather, and because he had, like you're describing, arranged for those things to be put there ahead of time.
Right.
So it took weeks to run those guys out of there.
Yeah.
But that guy who was the guy who tried to assassinate the Pope, he was one of the guys that was leading that whole thing.
Yeah, they frisk you out the door, but your thing is already in there. You don't have, it's already set up for you. So just imagine one man with something. He comes in, he's the man. The thing by itself means nothing. A long range rifle with a scope by itself means nothing. What means something is the guy that's got it in his, got you in his sight. And so he could just come in from anywhere with nothing and just, that's it.
It was the AC guy. He was working on the AC. He left the scope. The other guy came in and ran some electrical for the lighting. And he put the for stock there, right? And all next guy came in there and put the rest of the rifle together. Yeah, exactly.
That's the microcosm of it. But on the
like
larger,
the gun was hidden in the bathroom for Michael Corleone.
And on a larger scale, what about Connex containers coming in? And what about this giant influx a couple of months ago of Chinese immigration all of a sudden? I mean, there's
China.
There's potential for this all over the world, that people could be shipping their military in undercover as, dirty-faced refugees or whatever. They get handed a cell phone, they get handed an ID, and then just say, you know what, look, here's $2,600 a month. Go over there and stay in this real nice hotel until we call you. And now all of a sudden, 3 weeks ago, I see this video. Okay, and I might have talked a little bit about it on the air, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to inflame the situation. But I swear to God, I've never seen anything like it in my life, and in a moment I tripped on it, but then I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, whoa, I don't know. So I see this. It's a video of a street. And down the street is coming this group of people, pulling suitcases and this and that, and apparently they're, immigrating to Ireland, and so the locals, all of a sudden they just came out, a whole group of people, and just started kicking the shit out of everybody. And now when I say kicking the shit out of them, I mean they were boot stomping people. This one guy had to pull this giant dude from boot stomping the head on this guy in next to this doorway. Had to pull him away before he crushed his skull. And I was watching this shit, and I was going, man, this is, super intense. But, I mean, that's the level of what's going on. And it seems to be based around racism. There's some sort of skin color thing involved in it. And it's being said now, 3 weeks later, all of a sudden, there's all this stuff breaking off. All these people coming out, people wearing masks, people doing shit, people stop. I saw a picture of a dude getting stabbed in the neck. A police officer, it was a woman police officer, who was holding down a quote-unquote far-right protester on the ground, and this other person came up behind them, and stabbed her in the neck and killed her. So, I mean, what's going on over there, huh? You don't know? Nobody knows. You know why?
I can tell you exactly what it is. It's a repeat of what happened in Sweden when they sent all the Syrian refugees over there. And the EU made a decision that since Sweden doesn't have a culture of their own, we could put all these refugees there. According to Red Ice Radio, I'm quoting Heinrich over there. This doesn't come from me. This is Heinrich was saying back in the day from Red Ice. And that what was happening was they had those no-go zone areas where the refugees had their Sharia law and things like that, and their own patrols, religious patrols. They were something of the police, if you will, but they weren't really police. They were more like the Taliban, but not Taliban. They were, enforcing their faith, right? Or the faith police, if you will. And so the actual police in Sweden had a stand down order not to go mess with them, and they called it no go zone. You wouldn't go there. The police wouldn't go there. They let them handle their community such as it was that had just came there on their own, right? They were invited there, and they turned it from being Sweden into Syria North, right? And what happened?
Ironic.
And what's happening in Britain is the same
Americans can't do that. Americans can't handle their own communities, but foreign people can.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's totally, Heinrich was right about this. It's totally logical. Like, he went to extreme right wing, people think now, because he felt offended, and I don't blame him, for the culture of Sweden being infringed upon by these refugees, who at this time were no longer refugees. They're running the culture in certain areas of town. It was a no-go zone, literally proclaimed by the government. What's happening here in UK is dangerously close to that.
Well,
right, where these people are coming in and just they're taking over for the police, right? And they're actually raiding. They went into a pub and pulled the supposed right wingers out of the pub, right?
I saw a video.
They're not police.
I saw a video of a dude with an AK-47 and his head wrapped up in a black sheet, nothing but his eyes popping out, saying he was going to start shooting people. Okay. So, I also saw another video where the guy was saying they were going to come in, and I won't use the word, even though I should, because that's how heinous it is. He said they were going to come in and have sex with your women and steal your houses.
Yeah, they say they're taking over the UK. They were saying that too. It's like, it's time we're taking over the UK. But it is ironic that whether it is in Sweden or the UK or wherever, the local people are the thugs, the right-wing thugs, and then they can't do things in their own neighborhoods, but they establish these no-go zones wherever they go. And, it's in the name of Islam, but usually it's made up consistently of people that have come in and are not from that country in the first place.
Well, yeah, and it's part of what they call a head tax, right? So in ancient Islam, when they were conquering, the Moors were conquering,
the jizya.
Example, yeah, they called it a head tax. So the thing was, when they took over an area, you could still be a Christian, you could still be a Jew, you could still be whatever, but you had to pay a head tax.
The jizya, yeah.
Yeah, and if you didn't pay the head tax, it cost your head. They killed you, right?
All right,
that was the thing. That's what they're doing, basically. Now, the thing is, before we make a right or left wing, they're coming and blaming the right wingers when they come in these pubs supposedly and take these people and pull them out of there. These thugs, basically. Right, but they're doing it to left people too. I mean, it's not
we don't have much time left, and I want to get this video in before the next hour starts. Now, listen, this is from a channel called Right Track, Wrong Train. All right, this is a 7-minute video. All right. And I think every single minute of it is worth your time and worth your attention. Just lean back and take a listen to some actual conversation that really asks the questions, and there's no answers.
Does white privilege exist?
Absolutely.
It does.
Absolutely.
And where's the proof of that?
All around. I tell people often now, in hindsight, one of the things that I wish I would have been more cognizant of was the white privilege at UCLA that was sitting, right next to me. For Black people, I believe white privilege is something to leverage.
What is it though? I don't see it anywhere. What is it? What is it?
How don't you
for people like me who don't see it.
How do you not see white privilege?
Because it doesn't exist. Yes,
it does.
So what is it exactly?
I believe white privilege is just the ability just to be free and white and not have the same type of social, economic, and social ills as Black people have to deal with. I mean, there's no white racial profiling. White people don't get pulled over by the cops just because they're white. They have the ability to, show emotion and love to their sons without being emasculated. There's all kind of examples
That's
of
amazing
white privilege.
that you believe that.
Absolutely. Why don't you black? How come you don't believe white privilege exists? What you see?
Well, because I am black in color, but I don't have that dark mentality that most black people have.
Clearly.
I see, she said clearly, I see that white people have the same struggles and things that we have in that
What type of
they have
struggles
to
do they
make their
have?
marriages work. They have to make their children, help their kids grow up in the right way so that they can earn a living and be independent.
But they also have the majority of their
make
fathers
kids-
at home.
Right,
We don't
and the
have-
reason for that, it's starting to change somewhat now, but the reason for that is because they are taking responsibility for that, whereas black men and women are not taking responsibility for that, as they did prior to the civil rights movement. Black people are blaming it on their lack of self-control and self-containment. They're blaming it on white people, while white people are working hard to keep it going.
I do
for
believe
themselves.
that there is a need for black people to be held more accountable.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that doesn't excuse racism, that doesn't excuse institutionalized racism, that doesn't excuse.
But there's no
that-
such thing
Yes,
as that.
yes,
It's an
it
illusion
is.
made
No,
up
it's
by
not.
black people
No,
and their
it's
leaders.
not. No, it's not. It exists.
Well,
Sorry.
where's the proof of it, though?
What do you mean, where's the proof of it?
There are many kids who are getting into, black kids who are allowed to get into these universities around the country, right, based on affirmative action. And because of affirmative action based on their color. That's discrimination based on color, and that's wrong. And these kids are getting in, but they're not earning their way. So when they fail, they feel less than before they were allowed to get in based on color.
I'm a proud product of affirmative action. When I went to UCLA, it was because I was an affirmative action student.
I'm sorry to hear that.
And I think I turned out fantastic. So a lot of my peers who were having challenges getting into some of these predominantly white institutions, the affirmative action was great. My father went to Harvard. You know, he was one of very few blacks.
Was he affirmative action?
I don't know if he was. That was back in the late 60s.
Well,
I don't
then
know.
he wasn't. He earned his way.
So, that being said, I still believe that affirmative action helped me get into UCLA, and it gave me access.
You would
and
not have
exposure.
gotten in there on your own because you were not smart enough?
I don't know if I wasn't smart enough, but based on the curve and what I was competing with you know, other individuals who had different educational opportunities and teachers. I mean, I'm coming from, you know, the LA Unified School District. I mean, so at the time, I think LAUSD was still pretty good. But I went to all white schools from high school up
So you
through
got
college.
a good education. Why couldn't you get into the school based on your own talent?
I don't know. Maybe because I didn't have some of the opportunity.
But you
First
had
of all-
the opportunities.
No, well, first of all,
You had the same
SAT
opportunity those white kids were having.
Not necessarily. I had different teachers. I had different
So you
resources.
went to a white integrated school.
I'm talking about
mostly
going
white.
into these other into UCLA. I still had to be able to deal with some of the issues and going to predominantly white schools.
Like
but
what?
I still had to be able to compete.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
Some of the issues going to a predominantly white.
I would graduate from University High School, and at the time they didn't have an African American student union.
An African American student union?
At the school.
Well, that's a good thing.
They didn't have one.
That's a good thing.
Why?
Why do you need something like that?
They have Asian student unions. They have Jewish student unions. They have all kind of different.
Did they have
student
white
unions.
student union?
They need student union. They own the whole school. So
But the kids didn't own the school. The kids didn't.
But I'm saying there's nothing. I don't think there's nothing wrong
It's
with having
amazing that
a
you think this
segregated, you know, population of students who just want to study together, or work together, or to be able to.
Would you
deal
be
with
in support of a white student union?
Yeah, of course.
It would be okay with you?
Yeah, why
Oh, no.
not?
But most blacks don't feel that way.
I think all cultures should be able to segregate and to be able to work within their cultures and network within their own cultures. Absolutely.
Does racism exist?
I believe racism does exist.
And where's the
absolutely.
proof of that?
You just see it all over in the country. We're proof of it. In
What-
terms of just the,
what do
the
I see?
disproportionate in the economics with black people.
But that has nothing to do with racism.
It does. Racism is about power. It's about who is in control. And black people can't be racist because we're not in control. We're not in control of the educational system, some of the social organizations and things that run this country. We're not in control. Racism is about power.
But you would
What
be in
race is
control of your own life if you had good parents, if they taught you how to be independent, if they taught you how to build, how to take care of. I've noticed that the reason I left where I lived over there in the Crenshaw district is that once the white people left, because once I moved there, when I first moved there, it was mostly whites. But once they left, as they did in Gary, Indiana, and other places, the blacks turned it into a ghetto. A beautiful area went to hell in a handbasket, so I got out. But if blacks had more character and they were taking care of themselves and being responsible and buying land and teaching their children,
that has to be taught.
Then so that has nothing to do with racism.
But that has to, of course, that has to be taught.
So it's not racist. It's not white people's fault that you're not teaching your children to do that.
No, but it's not. If the parents don't know.
They don't know. But that's not white people's fault, though.
But if they go into some of these institutions, these predominantly white institutions, they are targeted. They don't have the same opportunities because of their color. It's true. I mean,
so then why go in there then? Why not go to an all-black school if you feel that?
Some people do choose to do that.
I'm sorry?
Some people do choose.
That's why you see a lot of these black kids going to these white universities, and then they force their way in by saying, I need affirmative action. Once they get in, now they crying racism. Why do you want to force your way in with the people you think are your enemies, and you're still complaining once you get there?
I don't think people are forcing their way. Does
affirmative
action even
action
exist?
Is forced based on color.
Does affirmative action even exist? Are people getting in based on affirmative action?
Yes.
Today,
otherwise they wouldn't be there.
The way Trump has it down, he's just leveled the playing field. So it is going to have to be more about being able to be competitive.
Hallelujah.
I could be somewhere in the cold where dreams come and go.
It's into the microcosm. It's Revolution Radio. It's freeworld.fm. It's the Independent Broadcast Network. Going to be right back. We still got more left before we're going to get into it.
Hey, Michael. They know not to love. What good would that be? What good would that be? Would you like me if I had a gun? Dodging cops always on the run now. Getting caught up over petty drama. Selling drugs to somebody mama. I'm telling you these streets ain't so pretty. I swear everything that glitters ain't gold. These streets ain't so pretty. I've been loving these streets, but I don't wanna love these streets no more. They know nothing about bullet holes in that silence. They don't wanna know. Looking at that judge, thinking that he got you this time. They don't wanna know. Talking to your loved ones through a window. Days, hours, minutes winding down real slow, real slow. Would you like me if I had a gun? Dodging cops always on the run now. Getting caught up over petty drama. Selling drugs to somebody mama. I'm telling you these streets ain't so pretty. I swear everything that glitters ain't gold.
We'll be right back.
Streets ain't so pretty. I've been loving these streets, but I don't wanna love these streets no more.
Radio at freedomslips.com, and we'll be right back after this message.
Hey everyone, it's Barbara Jean Lindsay, the Cosmic Oracle. If you have questions about your past lives or future plans, need answers from the cosmos about your love life or career, or just want to keep your finger on the pulse of the planet, check out my show, The Cosmic Oracle, here on Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com.
Did you ever feel that things were not quite right? That everything was just ever so slightly askew?
Do you have, to paraphrase Morpheus, a splinter in your mind?
If you're interested in hearing the latest information about UFOs, the paranormal, ancient cultures and structures, monatomic elements, longevity, fantastic discoveries in science, downloaded to your brain, then tune into us. Hi, I'm Dave. And I'm Mackie. And we are Shiny Side Out, Sundays 2 to 4 a.m. Eastern. See you then.
Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. You don't need to expect us. We're already here.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids. Dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Right here on Revolution Radio.
Check in every Thursday night for the Crypt Rick and Jonathan Show. Studio A, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right here at the #1 listener-supported radio station, Revolution Radio.
Join me at Revolution Radio, Studio B, at 11 a.m. on Saturday for Free Association, when we take a look at philosophy, spirituality, psychology, social issues, and geopolitics. It's every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on Studio B at freedomslips.com.
Thank everybody for listening to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com, the one place where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio.
All right, let's show them what we got here.
Thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
It's Friday night, hour number 2.
No, I hear you. I hear like the album. No, it sounds like the DJ album every once in a while, right?
Why are you talking?
Because we lost the sound again.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
It just went away.
We can't hear the music. Only your voice, Jimmy, not what's coming through the soundboard.
Are you there? Rockin' Rio, Epic Journeyman, you guys there? It says paused. What the fuck is going on, man? I don't know what's going on around here, seriously. All my settings just changed by themselves. So now there's like 4 calls going here on Skype. So I gotta remove all these people from these other calls. Otherwise, I'm not sure if there's a call going out to Revolution Radio or not. Sorry, everybody. This is really fucking... Yeah, Chris. Yeah, give me a call right in the middle of all this. That's good. Good deal, bro. I'm removing everybody from these calls for whatever reason. No one hung up. So I'm hanging up on everybody. One at a time. So I'll start this call all over again in a minute. Okay. I'm going to remove myself from the call. All right. Go away. Not now. Okay, so now are you guys here now? I see you, Ro, and I see Freedom Slips is paused. What does that mean? I don't know. It means I'm hanging up. That's what it means. Let me see. Clear conversation. Alright, I don't know what's going on. What time is it? It's like been going on for like 9 minutes now. So, let me try calling Rio. Hello.
Hello.
What's happening? My Skype settings are just changing themselves by themselves. So these other calls are going over here. I don't know what's going on, so I'm not sure if I can dial into Revolution Radio or not.
Oh, so you're only got me at the moment.
No, so. I know, but there's these other calls are open and they all look like you guys are there, so I can't tell if I can call in. So I wanted to call you first.
Okay.
And let me see, now there's these other calls are moving, so people are going in there. I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Honestly, dude, I swear to God, I don't know what's going on because my settings just changed by themselves to voice isolation, and the other one is automatically adjust microphone settings. So it was doing all this by itself. I didn't change anything. And then I changed it the first time, and then I went back, and then somehow between the break and then it went in there and changed the settings again by itself somehow.
Do you have any what's the other Microsoft Teams or anything on there?
No, I don't. This is an Apple machine. There's nothing on here except the show. That's it. And that's what I was trying to say earlier. I mean, now that the show's fucked for a minute, before we go on Revolution Radio, I'll just say here on YouTube, this fucking chat, I can't see it in the YouTube studio. So I have the YouTube shit is open. I see everything else except I see the chat box, but there's no text in it. If I go to the show without being in the YouTube studio, I just go there like someone watching the show on my same computer, go there, the chat box is there, but there's no text, no chat. If I go over here on my iPad and I go to the show and I look at it like I'm watching it, the chat is there. And then now all of a sudden my Skype is just, inadvertently changing itself. I mean, seriously, what the fuck?
Well, before when we were on the group call, I was hearing, I thought, another party that wasn't one of us.
Dude, I thought I was hearing fucking typing.
Yeah, I heard that.
What the fuck?
So,
all right, listen, I got it.
If somebody's listening, knock it off, man. You're screwing up our show, man.
You know what it is, too, dude. I'll tell you right now. You want me to shoot you in the face? Why is Chris calling us?
Chris.
What does he want? Chris.
Jimmy.
Chris, what's
Hey,
up?
man.
What's up, man? I'm in the middle of some shit going on over here. What's going on, man?
Well,
You
I
need
was
to-
taking a look
do-
at your
do you-
YouTube channel. I
you need
can
to-
see the chat. It's working right.
All right.
You're
Listen, I got to
you're
go right
coming
now.
across-
I got to go right now. Call me back in 10 minutes. I got to go. What the fuck? Now this call is paused. What the fuck? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get Revolution Radio on here. Hang on a second.
All right.
He
You
was
want me
just
to-
he
you
was
want me to
just
call?
he was just calling to tell us that he sees the chat and everything over there. And that's not the issue though. The issue isn't what you see. The issue is why can't I see it? And I'm telling you right now what I think it is. And honest to God, this is what I think it is. When there's a chat on YouTube, okay, before the chat ever comes back, like the next day when the show's there, the chat doesn't come. You don't see the chat right away until Google goes through it. And eventually you see it. But if for some reason they decide they don't want you to see it, the chat will never be there and there's nothing I can do to make it come back. So what I do, when I noticed that, what I started doing is I started showing the chat in the video next to me.
Uh-huh.
And I've been doing that for a long time.
Yeah, I know.
And now all of a sudden I can't show the chat anymore because I can't see it in the YouTube screen and I can't see it when I watch the video on this computer for some reason. So I got the YouTube chat bot on there and I started talking to it. It literally sent me this. It was saying this stuff to me. It was saying it was consoling me. It was the language it was using was like emotional language. Like it was consoling me and I was like, what the fuck is this thing doing? I should get this shit on the air, man. Hold on. I know it's on YouTube, but hold on. Let me hang on. Let me get this on over here on Revolution Radio. Stand by. Fuck. Stand by. All right, here they come. Why am I on hold? Are you on hold, Rio? What the fuck? Hey, Rev Radio, what's happening? Hopefully you're there. We're having some technical difficulties. Now Rio's on pause. I don't know why. I'm just going to remove him from the call. So there he goes. It sounds like I hear Epic Journeyman's voice somehow. I don't know how, but I'll find out. He's not on the call yet, but here, let me see if I can join in these people. There's some shit going on with us over here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. They're still on the other call. Hang on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, tell them to all get off that call, man. Well, hopefully you're here, Revolution Radio. It's Into the Microcosm having some, basic stoner issues with Skype.
Okay.
Skype smoked a joint before the show and it got too high or something. I don't know, man. But whatever reason. So listen, while you guys were over there, we were over
I am here.
Yeah, hold on a second. Stand by. There.
Greetings.
Hey, how's it going? So stand by a second. The show's been going on over here on YouTube this whole time. So basically what we were talking about was the fact that I can't see the chat over there. And it's only on this computer that I do the show on that I can't see the chat through the YouTube studio screen in the back end. And I can't see anything when I go to the show, like I'm watching it. I still can't see the chat, but I can see it on my iPad. And so now all of a sudden, in that in between the break, so beforehand, what happened was all my settings in Skype were changed over to automatic voice isolation and automatic microphone settings, which I didn't change. Okay. Then at the break, all of a sudden, the settings got changed back again, somehow, mysteriously, just by themselves. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, and I don't know if it's because of what we were about to talk about. And I mean, I'm not even bullshitting when I'm saying that either. It's not some I don't say shit like that for attention. I definitely heard some shit. Rio, we were talking about Rio. Did you hear some shit earlier before on the call?
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is like over the last weekend on Saturday night, Epic Journeyman brought up a specific thing that had happened a couple weeks ago. All right. And this was an intervention from law enforcement into a person's home. Right. And in the course of that conversation, he revealed some specifics about the tattoo on the guy's arm and the Order of the 9 Angles. And so it's a pretty intense subject in and of itself, the Order of the 9 Angles. Epic, do you want to expand on your findings a little bit on this tattoo and why you were triggered originally on this here? Rio, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
I think Epic left.
Oh no, sorry, that's my fault. I didn't have my microphone flipped down.
Oh.
So William Ramsey we had talked to 2 years ago because he'd written a book about the Order of 9 Angles. He was on the show, and the next day on X he was referring to the same tattoo. He said, "I've been seeing this tattoo a lot." And I talked to him on X, right? So I had a little bit of dialogue, and he said, "Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised." And so we were talking about getting him on the show to bring it up a little bit. So it's the Wanderer's Cross. It's a Nordic thing, the one on his one arm. There's different names for it, but it's used for spell casting. So one thing is it's like for navigating your way through the world. That's like the one metaphor for it. But they use it. It's runes, and the runes are for casting spells. It's like a pentagram, but in Nordic magic, right?
Mhm.
So these are the 8 positions to cast a spell, right? I mean, in that context, and his other arm had the stack of skulls. And that's what caught my attention was a combination of the two, because the combination of those two were the things you saw in the Wagner group or Wagner group, how you want to pronounce it, depending on where you're coming from in the world, which are the mercenaries that Putin uses to go all over the world and cause mischief, right? And he killed
basically Russian Blackwater, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And Yevgeny Prigozhin is a guy who not only started the original Russian interference to talk about in America back in the day, and he's behind that. They had all the Russian troll bots on Twitter going way back on Facebook, but he's also the guy in Africa, specifically Africa, is causing all this ruckus, right? In Syria, right? And we ended up America bombed their Syrian base. We actually attacked during the Trump administration their Syrian base and took them out.
That was that was the thing that inflamed a lot of people that were followers of Trump. The immediate bombing that happened there.
Right. But when you know about the Order of 9 Angles, what you learn is that these people are serious cultists. So it was created because Satanism wasn't dark enough. I mean, I'm not speaking that figuratively. I mean, literally, that's what they believe.
This is some serious shit, Bruce.
Handy-ass Satanists.
So listen.
Yeah, no joke, man.
No, but because
you're really tough. This is some serious shit. You're talking to a guy who lived with Bob Wiegand for 6 weeks.
That's why I'm saying, Bruce. I'm saying the cult of the Order of the 9 Angles. The people within the organization are the people that are that's their thing. It's some serious dark shit, man. It's no joke. I understand. That's why I'm glad you're here, Bruce.
Yeah, okay.
Because of your deep
I will bring the protection now. You are protected.
Thank you. And the deep esoteric knowledge that you have. I mean, given, some of the things you've written about and some of the mischief you've gotten into over the years. So listen, the whole thing centers around a particular incident that happened, Bruce. And there were the police were called because someone thought they heard someone outside. And they were scared. Rio, do you have that video? Rio has the
I dropped it in
I'm not gonna fuck with it. Okay, you do it. All right. I don't want to touch I don't want to touch
when
anything.
you play video, I hang up on Skype and go watch it on YouTube.
Okay, well,
I'm just gonna say the guy's name is Deputy
It's brilliant.
Grayson.
I finally figured it out.
Listen, I'm not going to show the video because I'm going to tell
it's too disturbing. It is. There's no point watching it, but the guy's name's Deputy Grayson. I forget his first name, but Grayson's the important part. He has a Nordic tattoo on his right arm. He has a skull stack on his
warn
left
everybody. I'm warning you ahead of time. This shit is extremely disturbing.
He'd been
Jimmy,
kicked out of
no.
4 other police departments. Is his 6th job in 4 years, right?
All right,
And police-
listen.
different police
Yeah, so
Hey, Epic.
I just want to make you aware of the vortex, Jimmy. There is a vortex working on you and us tonight, okay? It's 8-9. We're one day past 8-8, which is the highest holy day for those cubist fucks. And this is why this energy is circulating. And I wanted to say that out loud to get you to maybe even reconsider playing what you're about to play.
I'll tell you right now, I don't like what I'm about to play. I'm actually not playing it. Rio's gonna play it.
Oh,
you're
man.
telling
Leave
me
it
not.
be.
You're telling me not to play it because I'm telling you right now.
I would. There's just so much negative energy charge now. I could just feel it rippling like an electrical current yesterday.
shit.
Everybody I spoke to on Skype, including my son, was partially infected. Like everybody. It's like if you go in water, you're going to get wet. You're going to get a little cranky or a little negative 8-8.
Well,
Plus we're in a gigantic Mercury retrograde until like the 28th of this month. Mr. Rowe would know more about the astrology, but look, I can take it. Like it's the Tonight Show for me. I'm worried about the listeners, Jimmy.
all right. Well, listen. We'll have to let the listeners decide. Listeners, you can close your ears, put your fingers in your ears, and go la 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 for like 9 minutes, while the horror. And the thing about this is, Bruce. The thing about this is this is supposedly America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, it's not like. Let me ask you a question, Bruce. You've been all over the world, here and there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
In third world countries, when you call the cops, don't you get a beating, and sometimes you even get thrown in jail and get killed? I mean,
For calling the cops?
yeah.
You mean for the cops to come and defend you, or ratting someone out?
No, just to come and do so. You call and defend you. Come to your house.
No,
There's an intruder
not
in the house.
In Costa Rica, they actually do their job. They're quite efficient. They'll come up and if somebody's on your property and they're armed, the cops will kill them
Or
right
what
in
if
front
you're
of
in
you.
Venezuela? What if you're?
I can't speak. I wouldn't call any emergency service in Venezuela at this point.
Right. So I mean, that's the point. Is that this is supposed to be a community that's based on law and rights, and you have the sanctity of your home and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? It's like Poltergeist when the ugly ass old man shows up at the door, knocks on the door. You let him in. See?
Yeah.
You let him in, but until you let him in, he can't come in. You have to say he can come in first. You got to let him in, and that's exactly what happened. Is the devil came to this lady's door this day, and she recognized him, and Epic picked this out off these tattoos, and in reverse, Rock and Rio, there was congruency. I mean, literally, it's. I guess let's just stop beating around the bush. I'm giving people time. Seriously, it's disturbing. Rio, are you ready to let it rip here?
Oh, I just got one more question before you start, Jimmy.
All right.
Is it more disturbing than female Olympic boxing?
Unfortunately, it is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is, but that's a close second.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Okay. All right.
All right. Enough is enough, as they say. My grandma used to say before she smacked me in the head, Irish style. All right, listen. You ready?
Yeah. You want me to play it?
There you go. Go ahead. Wait a minute. How long is it?
3 minutes.
Can you? I mean, don't go into the whole thing afterwards. I mean, maybe what he says right then about what it is and what happened. But don't go into the whole after conversation thing, if you wouldn't mind. I mean, it's harsh enough as it is. It's in the microcosm. It's Friday night. Sorry about the intense negativity, but here it is.
Here, grab your ID for me. Okay. Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your
Stop
paperwork.
it. Stop it. Stop it.
You have
Stop it. Stop it, Rio.
What's up?
Stop it. So listen. So Bruce, they knocked on the door. She called the police. So apparently, she has called the police before, and she has she's called before. So when they come to the door, they say, They come to the door to say, let me see your ID. Let me see some ID. You know, all of a sudden they're putting her on tilt, making her find her, you know, she's in her robe or whatever. She heard a noise outside.
Yeah.
She doesn't have her ID. But all of a sudden they come in and go, get me see your ID. And, you know, where's your ID? No. You know, now they're in there.
Just like in her bathrobe, yeah.
Yeah, and they're both in there with their thumbs on their big black belts, and they're walking around with their vests, looking around, with their chins out, looking around the house. Well, yeah, find your ID, blah, blah, blah. They're making conversation while they're eyeballing the whole place. Go ahead, Rio.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Rio.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Let's see. Okay. Where are you going?
Huh?
Where are you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay,
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot!
All right, I'm going to pause it there because
she says
he's already shot her in the face and taken her out, and he's still telling her to drop the pot.
So listen, Bruce. He says she's just turning the water off on the stove, and she looks at him, and she says, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And he says to her, "You better
not.
Fucking not, or I'm gonna shoot you in the face."
Why did she say that? I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Because she saw him.
She
as
recognized
a
the demon.
She sees demons. Yeah, she's schizophrenic. That's her back history supposedly.
Yeah,
and so she saw him as a demon.
And he's he's yelling, "You better not." She says, "I rebuke you again." So
and he shoots her.
And then he shoots her in the face. Yeah. So when I looked at the reverse of that, right? She said she saw a demon, and
I'm going to heaven.
Yeah, and then she
says,
"I'm going."
Are you prepared to play that?
He says, "I'm going to heaven."
Are you prepared to play the reverse?
Yeah, I can do it right here because I have it in the sound editor open.
Let's do
I think forward's disturbing enough.
It is, and in reverse though, here's the thing about it, and we discussed this on the show.
It makes perfect sense in reverse, actually. Yeah.
And here's what we discussed on the show.
So why,
Bruce? Listen.
Why were they so hostile to the woman from the moment they showed up? If she's the one who called for help, did she have bad notes in her file as a chronic complainer and caller of the police and mentally unbalanced?
It's schizophrenic. I believe so. Her
Do you
brother
think? Okay, I'm just gonna throw something out there because. Before we go all demonic and everything, let's not just forget the normal human state of psychopathy and how prevalent it is in our institutions now, like nurses and doctors, as an example, without going into any more detail than that. Do you think it's possible there is a kind of Hitler-like euthanasia policy in institutional engagements with people who are marginal and viewed as an unnecessary burden?
Yes, actually, Bruce, and exactly, this is the Order 9 angles I was talking about. This is why I brought it up.
Yeah.
It's because
and this is why Jimmy wanted me in for this topic.
Yes,
because he knew I'd figure it out.
And listen,
so what it is, they have to kill people to achieve rank.
Yeah.
So they take positions as mercenaries or in law enforcement to do it. This isn't some random wild thing. What they do is they go for 3 months. They live in a cave underground and get subjected to all this like Nordic mythology and basically the old dual society kind of things. Basically, a lot of it. And then what they do is they don't they believe they have to be like the Aryan Superman, kind of like a cross between Nietzsche and Hitler Youth. And then after they've spent all that time in the cave, they believe they're superior to everyone else, and it's their obligation, not just their duty in life, their obligation to find the weak and punish the weak and kill the weak when opportunity allows, right? And they don't marry; they sire children with women who literally practice witchcraft out in the woods, and they're lesbians normally, right? And they sire these children with these women. It sounds like some just ridiculous thing from a sci-fi movie or horror movie, rather. but it's real. They really do this.
Why do I have this sinking feeling that an immigrant Scotsman probably started this shit show?
I'm not sure who started it, actually.
Third cousin of Aleister Crowley or something like that.
I reached out to Mr. Ramsey through Skype, but I don't think he uses Skype anymore. Because I sent him a message.
I talked to him on X. I'll try to get him.
I sent him a message a couple months ago when the thing happened in Texas, because there was also do you remember the thing in Texas? There was another thing in Texas where you noticed the same thing.
There's a couple, yeah.
I forget what it was. Rock and Rio. Now listen, Bruce, we made a distinction the other night when we discovered this and we started getting into it. And that was that there's reverse speech that we see and that we hear quite a bit. And these are like political figures, this or that. And usually what we hear in reverse is not what we consider the truth serum or the truth lie detector that we would see with congruency. In other words, if I say I see a black dog going forward, and in reverse I say I love my black dog, then I'm telling the truth about my black dog because it's congruent. It's front and back. It's the same. But on these other things, we noticed with Rio, we can get into this a little bit real quick before we get into the reverse on this, is there's a distinction between that and then these other messaging methods that are utilized in reverse, where you hear whole speechifying going on. When we heard these speeches, and there's literally coherent speeches going on in reverse, but it has nothing to do with what's being said forward, right, Rock and Rio?
Yeah. When the teleprompter version, right? Even like with Trump, he's reading the teleprompter. He there's a certain type of messaging that goes on. When he's being interviewed and off script, right? There's a different pattern to the reverse. It's more from the subconscious, I guess, as opposed to being more scripted in the background.
So we're inferring and saying that, if these speechified reverse speech ideas are put together from an AI perspective, an AI could phonically put together and wordify a speech so that it turns out a certain way in reverse pretty easily, I would imagine at this point, with everything we know about what's been going on with it. But so Rock and Rio, now, are you prepared to run the reverse speech? Is S90?
Yeah.
Is S90? Are you here?
He was at the beginning of the show.
Yeah, there's been so many.
I don't know if he's made it through the 9 different calls.
Yeah, exactly. All right, go. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. It's Revolution Radio, freeworld.fm, the Independent Broadcast Network, on YouTube, in the microcosm. Jimmy Gene over here. Rock and Rio's here. Epic Journeyman's here. Bruce McDonald's here. Everybody's here. We're all here on this conversation going on, and we'll stand by on some of this other stuff that I had that I had put together from the Carlstrom interview. Okay, Rock and Rio, go ahead. Take the helm, as it were.
All right, I'm just gonna roll it because I got it live right here. So right, right there. He goes, "I've killed her. I've killed her." All right, so that's just right. She said he's right there. He says, "I'll kill you." I'll fucking drop the fucking pot. I'll kill you. Right now, right there, I'm going to heaven. Right there.
It's like to me, it's unintelligible. Can you guys?
Let me slow it down a little more here.
It's.
I'm going to heaven. So, she already knows. All right, so right there's the second I rebuke you. Right, she says I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and she says the demon's in here and it's evil. The demon's in here and there's evil. Let me slow that down one more. Oh, the demon's in here and they love evil. That's what she says. So she recognized, right away that there was, demonic force present, and she rebuked it. And then when he says, I'll shoot you in the face, her response is, I'm going to heaven. It shows her faith or belief, I guess, and maybe even the foresight that she knew that she was going to get shot by him at that point. That she was confronting it.
He says you better not. I mean, that was what the tripping thing was.
Yeah.
He says it, she says it the first time, and then he goes, "You better not."
Right. Or I'll
Right.
shoot you in the face.
In the face. Yeah.
Yeah. And then she says
does
it again.
Yeah. Exactly.
And then he shoots her.
And God bless her soul. She's gone. And this dude's still there. What happened to him, Epic Journeyman?
He resigned from the police department. He's held, pending the charges.
Did he get a plane ticket to Maui? For that?
No, not that I know of yet. I just saw a video about him today. So,
There goes Lemmy dancing with the devil on Into the Microcosm. Friday night, Saturday morning, wherever you are, wherever you may be, there it is. Now,
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech.
There's no guarantee on free speech, misinformation, and hate speech. Is there? No. Really? I thought we had freedom of speech.
Well, it's really picking it apart, isn't it? The whole idea of fire in a crowded theater, taking that to the next level, because that's what's happening in Great Britain right now. Like in Great Britain, people are being arrested for their posts on Facebook.
They are.
For their posts on Twitter. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
It's out of control.
I mean, it is.
They said they want to extradite Americans for bad posts. I want to go that far.
Listen to
expanding
this.
the global reach.
Now, have you guys ever heard of something called neuroinformatics?
I believe I've heard the word before. Actually, I've never looked it up.
Here, neuroinformatics is the emergent field that combines informatics and neuroscience. Neuroinformatics is related with neuroscience data and information processing by artificial neural networks. There are three main directions where neuroinformatics has to be applied: the development of computational models of the nervous system and neural processes, the development of tools for analyzing and modeling neuroscience data, and the development of tools and databases for the management and sharing of neuroscience data at all levels. It encompasses philosophy, computational theory of mind, psychology, information processing theory, computer science, and natural computing, bio-inspired computing, among other disciplines. So basically, it's neuroinformatics seems to be used synonymously with cognitive informatics. So
it's reading your mind. That's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, it's all it is. So
it's reading your mind.
But informatics part of it, that point of the word salad, if you will, that coins it into one word though. Informatics means like inferred, right? Bruce, you can back me up on this, right? So it means that you're trying to infer from the data that's there that the neural activity, it can infer what you intend, right? So it's reading
what you intend, or what you intend, or to make you go to that thing, or to drive you to it by the information that's skimmed out of your skull. So basically, this has to do with what we've been talking about, which is your cognitive liberty. And so this is a weapon. All right, and this here, the thing about it is what they talk about is this ability to cause a group of minds to go into a dream state and create in that dream state, and then take that collective information from these dreams, these ideas that come out of these dreams, out of these human beings, and take that and turn it into something, through the information that's gathered. And so you never know what information is important, just like we talked earlier about your car, Ford, tracking your every movement and reporting back to the police. It's like, when is your brain is open territory for anybody who's got the technology to sift it. And the thing is, Mr. Rowe, I think you'll know what I'm talking about when I say, there is a dark web supply line where these technologies that are utilized by governments and other military operations, these technologies are also, there's nothing saying that a guy can't have a piece of technology, is there? So, I mean, there's people that have this technology, and that's, it's been put forward that, you can just contract with anybody. If there's somebody that you don't like and you want to target, say, an individual, you can just target that individual, because there's people that have this technology. Because look at, this is an emergent field. So, there's people out there.
Dark technology brokers.
Exactly, dark technology brokers. What do you
Cognitive services at your service.
Exactly. What do you know about this, Mr. Rowe? Do you know anything about these dark supply lines, and at least an overview for people?
There is no mafia, sir.
I think it's like the CDC for social contagions, right?
The mafia does not exist.
Yeah, well, what they're trying to do is find, so social contagions are a proven thing. You watch what happened with QAnon, right? And that's a perfect example, right? Or some people would argue the Mandela effect, right? But what you do is, if you can stop it, if you can nip in the bud, so to speak, by this this new technology, right? Then what was it called? Neuro-infer. Say it again. I've heard the term, but I've never heard the word used in a sentence.
So listen to this.
The point being, like that's what you're doing. You're looking for. You're trying to stop it. It's like a vaccine for the mind, right? To keep the social contagion from spreading.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the point that there's information and data being gleaned that no one has any.
When I first started my journey here in studying Revelation.
Man, right. I don't know what that was, but anyways, so listen.
That just came blasting through.
I know, that was weird, man.
Jimmy, you got some ghosts in your electronics tonight, man.
Yeah, well, maybe it's what do they call that? What's that unit at the Air Force? What are they? The ghosts? What are they called?
Oh, dude, I wish I'd saved that episode. They had the links for that.
Yeah.
No, they were studying haunting. That's what they gave it another name.
No,
what
I'm not that's not
haunting.
what I'm talking about, man. I'm talking about the unit that works in the ether space and on the internet for the Air Force. I'm talking about an operational force that exists on the internet.
Yeah.
Epic Journeyman. That's what I'm talking about.
And that's what I was saying. I made the analogy that it was talking about haunting. Like, in other words, it's impregnating this thing on the internet.
They're called the ghost. They're called the ghost in the machine. Is what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's not a good video for the radio because it shows a lot of stuff, but you can go find it for yourself. Just type in the Ghost in the Machine, United States Air Force, you'll find it. Now, have you ever heard of a guy by the name of Robert McWright? Because he says there's a war.
Sounds like a drummer in a Scottish band.
Yeah, there's a war inside your mind. The unprotected brain is the battlefield. And he talks about neuro-vulnerability, the war for your brain, targeted cognitive conflict, and mind wars. Now, I got a whole thing here. And this is probably like 50 pages. Chris is calling in. You guys want me to let him in? Here he comes.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
S90 is here too.
S90, what's happening?
Sunday.
Now, when they say there's a war on for your mind, that's no joke, and it's within the confines of your own skull. It's in the space that exists. Like when you close your eyes, it's infinite. There's no wall inside of your mind for you. And guess what? There's no wall to keep anybody out either, and they're manipulating it with frequencies and other methods that we can talk about here. Let's find out with Chris from the UK.
Howdy.
What's up, man?
Well, Jimmy, when it comes to the psychopaths,
Hold on a
the
second.
schizophrenia-
Hold on 1 minute. Chris from the UK.
Yeah.
What's
on ground zero tonight, man?
What the hell is going on? What the hell is going on here, man? Over in the UK.
Oh man, it's a little bit crazy over here.
All right, well, that's what I want to hear about before you get into that other stuff. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Bangers and mash.
What was like 40 years ago this problem started.
Yeah, but tell me what's going on right now. I don't want to know about
right now
40 years
ago. Right now what they're doing is the Muslim population are protecting their mosques and their places of worship, and then the normal average white guy, Englishman, who's proud of his country, is on the other side of the street. And what the police do is they kind of make a separation line, and they just yell at each other.
Mm-hmm.
There's been no BLM burnings or breaking and looting, none of that. There might have been one store got looted, but it's a lot of brick throwing, and it's going to get to where the civil war is going to be by the people against these forced migration people, which they blamed the killing of the 3 children, the little girls, on a Muslim, which was false reporting. The guy that killed those 3 little girls was a British citizen born of Rwandan parents who were came here out of asylum,
and especially around our democracy. I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
Yeah, and down where these people come from, hacking each other is like normal stuff. I know. So they come to a civilized country like England, and we don't want trouble here. I've been living here for 5.5 years now, Jimmy, and I've never had one incident where I felt threatened ever. I can leave my house and I don't have to worry about it. Now, in other cities, it's happening. Plymouth, there was it's just 20 miles away from here. There was a disturbance on last Wednesday, and then Exeter had one. All the cities.
Let me ask you this question.
They're just going around.
Listen. So now, is this whole thing being drawn? Is this a color thing? No. Is it just mostly white people? I mean, anyone who's white now is what is it now? Everybody. That's the team. The teams have been chosen. Because
actually.
Because there's no reason why people shouldn't be fearing their mosque being taken over and stuff. But that's an aspect of it that no one's talking about, Chris. Is that?
Let me build on Jimmy's question, because I know what Jimmy's asking. Chris, how do other large minority or equitable partner ethnicities in the UK, like Chinese, like Sikh, Punjabi Indians, and Hindus, how are they not getting fed up with this Muslim shit? Because they put up with it they don't like them, right?
Yeah.
By the way, according to the people who monitor tensions in the world, the highest likelihood in the world of a nuclear exchange, even with everything going on in the Ukraine now and everything, is still Pakistan and India. Okay, like they don't.
They hate each other.
Why are they making this British Muslim belligerence a white issue? Like, what about all the other ethnicities?
Well, the other ethnicities here, I think, are a little more on the ball when it comes down to staying out of trouble, right? And getting along in their neighborhoods. Many of them own little shops. They're
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now, the average white guy who's pissed off is the white European guy now who's the enemy. Supposedly he's all pissed off. How does he know? Unless somebody's telling him, how does he know the difference? To him, it's just you're brown. You know, he doesn't realize you're a Pakistani guy or you're this guy or that guy or the other guy. He's just all of a sudden, there's a line. Hold on, there's a line being drawn by color, and it's the same line that's being drawn in America too. It's the same. It's the same line, and the thing is because the inflammation point is happened where now it's gotten to a point where all of a sudden it's starting to be super noticeable to people. All of a sudden they're looking around and they're going, "Wait a minute, what's going on around here?" I didn't realize.
If I was to go on my Facebook page and post in there that I'm a full-blood Scotsman with heritage going back to the Picts, and I'm proud of being a Scot, right? I could actually be arrested.
Yeah, they might kick your door down, dude, and just drag your ass away.
Knock down my door and take me away for promoting hate speech because I'm a nationalist, right? I believe in my country. I'm a patriot. I would die for my country, Scotland. And Scotland's very messed up right now. But here in my town, I live in the best part of England, with a lot of tourists. Most of the Muslim people I see here are on vacation. Most of the Chinese people here are on vacation. The French send over about 1,500 students each summer to spend a month here. So it's a very peaceful place, you know. I was just down at the rowdiest bar in town, right? And everybody gets along. Even when I go to the bigger concerts in the mosh pits, and these guys are just nailing each other, you know, but they're best friends. And you might see every once in a while somebody kicking off on the street wanting to fight somebody, but it's usually a drunk. And we just don't have that same feeling here in Torquay as you do in Devon, as you do in Exeter or Birmingham or Manchester, because the Muslim population here is not very great. Neither is any of the other populations other than white, Anglo-Saxon, Christian, whatever you want to call it. A lot of Scottish people are here. A lot of Irish people are here. The black population that's English here, they're on the white man's side. You know, they know what's going on. But see, what's really happening is they're using us as a tool. It's not
the white man, though. It would seem that it would be more Christians versus Muslims more than it is white man.
Yeah. Well,
but the thing is it's being. That's what I'm saying. Is the tonality of the thing is being whipped up as the far right. They're calling far right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was a cop holding down a far right protester.
Yeah.
For yelling while they got stabbed in the neck by some dude wearing a head wrap with only his eyes.
Wearing a mask too. Right. That's what's showing us over here, Chris, on the American media, is that there's these Muslim no-go zones, just like they have in Sweden, basically. It's exactly a repeat of it, where these guys are going out there and proclaim themselves to be the police, essentially. They're not the police.
Yeah.
They're patrol, and they're going out there and they're rounding people up and kicking them out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
The other day,
listen, hey, it's break time. It's Revolution. Listen, it's Revolution Radio. It's freeworld.fm. It's the Independent Broadcasting Network. Bruce McDonald is here. Epic Journeyman's here. Rock and Rio is here. You're here, and we appreciate it because there's lots of places you could be. So in a minute or so after the break, we'll come back. Mr. Rowe, you're still here? I asked you a question, and I kept on going. I never stopped to hear what you had to say. when we come back, we'll do that. We'll hear what Mr. Rowe has to say, because I'm sure he has quite a bit to say. And there's some announcements that are coming up about the station we need to make too. Don't forget about that. All right, well, listen, they retired. We talked about it last week on Saturday night. We broke the news on Into the Microcosm on Saturday night over on YouTube, so you can join us tomorrow night, 7 o'clock Pacific. And we just chill. It's the Chilluminati. All right. Here's one for the boys, and hopefully they don't try to get Axl Rose to replace Steven Tyler like they do. Sick of Axl Rose. Into the microcosm.
Every time that I look in the mirror, all these lines in my face getting clearer. The past is gone, it went by like dusk to dawn. Isn't that the way? Everybody's got the dues in life to pay. Yeah, I know nobody knows where it comes and where it
Thank you for listening to Revolution Radio.
Are you interested in the paranormal, murder mystery, real natural law? Do you enjoy interviews with amazing guests? Then join Crypt Rick every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on Revolution Radio. Studio A, freedomslips.com. Crypt Rick's Hybrid Thinking. Welcome to the Crypt.
It is no secret that the so-called mainstream media is best described as controlled propaganda. Countless news stories are either totally ignored or spun with half-truths, and because of this, essential facts and vital information are often compromised. Join Dr. Ott every Friday night on Studio B at 10 p.m. Eastern and learn why The Story Behind the Story was nominated for a Peabody Award in its second year of producing unparalleled broadcasting excellence in 1997. That is, if you really care about learning the truth.
If you're sick of the lies and ready to know thyself, to love thyself, well then tune in to the Loveolution with your hosts, Amy and John Paul, where we speak all about truth, love, and freedom every Tuesday night, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Studio A, right here on Revolution Radio. And remember, only you can free your mind control. Be a Loveolutionary.
Interrupt your normally scheduled programming to bring you this important broadcasting announcement.
Now is the time to explore your greatest potential, embracing truth, health, and wellness while discarding the system and exposing its corruption. Experience true freedom every Saturday night between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from Studio B It's the Jonathan Wright Show.
Find it right here at revolution.radio.
The Secret Kindergarten is here for the young children of the world. The best program on the radio for kids. Dealing with the most important topics in the whole universe. Fairy tales, music and movement, numbers, plants, animals, fun, colors, insects. Take care and cast your ears out to catch a story from the world of other young things. Reach out, up, under, and over. Sing a song. Talk about feelings. Just remember the magic word. The magic word is no. Step on into the Secret Kindergarten. Saturdays, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, right here on Revolution Radio.
A narco-syndicalist commune. We take it in turns to act as a sort of executive officer for the week. Yes. But all the decisions of that officer have to be ratified at a special bi-weekly meeting. Yes, I see. By a simple majority in the case of purely internal affairs. Be quiet. But by a 2/3 majority in the case of more... Be quiet. I order you to be quiet. Look, you stupid bastard, you've got no arms left. Yes, I have. Look! It's just a flesh wound.
I don't believe I've seen such a display of courage, skill, nerve, grace, and stupidity.
I'll do you for that. Oh, what? Come here. What are you going to do, bleed on me? I'm invincible. You're a loony. The Black Knight always triumphs.
Roundtable Live, Monday through Friday, 1 a.m. till 4 a.m. Eastern Time. Bring your mind, bring your ideas, bring your voice. King Arthur had nothing on us here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. All right, thanks for listening while we took that short break here at Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com. And now we're going to get back to your host.
What would you do if you thought you knew the exact day World War III would break out? And who might start it, where it might be fought, and who might be left when it was over? Where would you go? How would you protect your family?
Don't miss the incredible predictions of Nostradamus, the man who saw tomorrow, from Warner Brothers Rated P.
Hour number 3. We got a full house tonight. I'll just say that. We're up on page number 1 on TalkStream Vibe, number 8.
Nice.
Yeah. All right, hang on a second. All right, take a listen to this here. So, targeting healthy brains to disrupt, impair, destabilize, and degrade their innate function using stealthy technology sounds like science fiction. But it isn't. While many of our cognitive instincts against danger sound our brains to stop short of being alerted instinctively to every conceivable pitfall, calamity, and risk, we can fall victim to shock and surprise without warning. Try for a moment to picture our brain as a target and an objective to be conquered, neutralized, and crippled by a determined clandestine foe. As wild and criminal as it seems, this has happened to many people and has been verified as confirmable neuroscience assault incidents. Search that, neuroscience assault incident. Those adversely affected by targeted disruptive cognitive degradation technology in recent years have often stepped forward to claim harm and seek relief, knowing a shroud of serious doubt and medical derision is often levied upon them. If this harmful technology exists, where is the proof of its existence? That's what the naysayers in the uniform treatment protocol for these victims. However, these randomized attacks on human cognition and brain function are significant, affecting hundreds, maybe even thousands. I've added that.
Yep. We were talking about that tonight on Ground Zero when I had to sit in for Dr. Shh, because his wife was having car trouble. So I was on there and discussing the possibility of the prion epitopes being placed in billions, and the cognitive damage that it does to us. They did a study. They actually did a study of pre-COVID, after COVID, and they found out that almost everybody in the study, I think there were 2,000 people, lost 10 years of cognitive function, which means instead of getting senility when you're in your 80s, you get it in your 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And
or you can get it way before your 70s. You can get it if you're a targeted individual.
Absolutely. And targeting individuals is a real thing. I've known one.
Well, I'm glad that
Bruce has known one.
Real.
Bruce might even be one.
I'm glad you assert and you prove that it's real tonight, Chris.
Absolutely
so,
real.
Hey, I'm glad you're on Ground Zero, but if you don't mind, let us continue here with the show. So
yeah, you guys go ahead. I just wanted to tell you that I love y'all.
We love you too.
Very grateful for you guys.
Hey, listen.
Thank you.
Hey, listen. Tomorrow night, maybe you could pop on. Just give us a message and let us know.
Sure.
We appreciate the report too, on the ground, boots on the ground, so to speak. Or
sure, I'll do that. I'll gather some news information and then get it for you.
Right on. Well, hey, that's good that you sat in for Doc McCarran on Bruce with Ground Zero tonight. Fantastic.
Yeah, we got some big news happening, so I'll message you privately about that.
Okay, great. Hey, listen. So, so this
I have some news.
You could hang on a second. You could stick around if you want to stick around, Chris, because what you're talking about is something that Dr. McCarran was talking about years before anyone had been talking about it. But hang on a second.
Yeah, I'll mute up and then just. Whenever you want something, just ask me.
So, Mr. Rowe, hang on, Epic Journeyman, Mr. Rowe, Dr. James G. Giordano, he talks about this in the neuro-warfare, is he talks about organisms and viruses being used as a specific weapon. And this is kind of what Chris was asserting there and what the doc had been asserting throughout the last period of time. Think about that for a second. Epic, you want to pop in there, Mr. Rowe, or Epic Journeyman, whichever one?
I just wanted to point out, this is a quick blurb. People might have just caught it already, but Susan Wojcicki, I think that's how I pronounce her name, the former CEO of YouTube, just died today. And like right now, it just came out over the wire kind of thing. I mean, a couple hours ago, I guess. And it just makes me wonder if she had something like a kill switch out there, right?
Well,
it's messing with people doing a YouTube broadcast. It's messing with their Skype. Not just the conspiracy theorist to me coming forward, right?
Well,
but
here's the conspiracy theory: is that Elon
cancer after a couple years. He's 56 years old.
Elon Musk is going to buy YouTube. Is what the rumor on the street is right now.
Well, yeah. So it's all kind of tied together, right? That's what I'm saying. Like, isn't it weird that all this stuff's happening at the same time, where this crackdown on social media is happening, where they're going to monitor, the thought police are coming into action in a real way, and the people who are the individual bastions of these different networks that had this kind of ability for us to post things in the past are all coming under, consolidated under a form of control, right? Because now they're available.
And Google was just found to be in a monopoly or whatever. I didn't really look too much into it.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, exactly. This lost a big case.
Well, so it would fit in perfectly if he bought YouTube and then changed all the rules so that it wasn't like it is now. And I'm sure that's what people are thinking, and that's what I'm thinking, because the way what's going on over on X now, because all these people that were against it before, all of a sudden they're back over there. You know, like nothing ever happens. It's a free speech zone. You know, like Alex Jones is over there. It's like he's more concerned with X than he is with like his own channel. It almost seems like. But I guess S90, you know more about that as far as what he's doing than I do. But I do know that every morning at 9 when I'm eating my breakfast, I tune in for about 15 minutes to find out what he's talking about, and there he is, you know, on X. You know, pointing to how he called it out. See, 3 weeks ago, they dug it out somehow in the archive. There it is. I told you. It was happening. I told you 3 weeks ago. So, if you want to know, ask Joe. That's what they say. So, Dr. Rowe, I know you're not Joe, but what do you think about this here? This neuroscience and these four, what do they say? It's drugs, bugs, and something else. It's like 3 things that DiGiordano talks about. Forget what it is. Bugs, drugs, and
the brain is the next battlefield as well.
That's from the Battle for the Mind, the 1932 book I was talking about last week. Actually, that's exactly what that is. In the United States, went after the drugs, right? That's what we did in the 50s and 60s, and then the Russians went after psychotronics. Yeah,
all of the research that's going into the medical field now, there's a reason why, you know, a lot of these, like for Wi-Fi, and the frequencies are so close to some of the working frequencies of, you know, the human body and the biofield. And I think in everything taken into conjunction, and then with artificial intelligence and the cognitive abilities that are coming online, that are even the stuff that's being released now to the public, definitely a brave new world. Yeah.
It says here, DiGiordano, he talks about neuroscience techniques and other forms of enhanced. He compares neuroscience techniques to other forms of enhanced interrogation, i.e., torture methods outlined in the CIA's Kubark torture manual. So the torture of civilians is permissible in that nanotech may uphold a higher moral standard than other forms of torture. So you'd be ongoing white, some sort of gray noise in the background that keeps you constantly just in this state of being, you know.
Have you ever heard that they were talking about coming out with this drug where you take a pill and it changes your perception of time, so that in the course of, let's say, you know, a month, you could live out a sentence of like 500 years.
Yeah, I have heard about that. I didn't know it was a drug.
And they're doing it electronically too.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Psychotronics. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yep. Yeah, no, that's a real thing, and they've made Black Mirror episodes about it, but it's based on a real thesis actually. And these are things that came out of. Go ahead.
Epic, aren't they doing it also for like prisons, for punishment sentencing? Where,
yeah, exactly. So you could live a 30-year sentence as far as like your perception of time, right? But be out in a day and still be a useful member of society and have life.
Epic.
Would you choose that? Could you be like, before you took the pill, you'd be like, man, it's only a day. I can do a day.
But it's not. You perceive it like it's 30 years. Yeah.
And then at the end of that day, you're a basket case.
Totally.
Yeah. It reminds me of Alex Jones when he's saying, folks, when they take the DMT, they go into interdimensional space prison for 50,000 years. It's essentially the same thing.
So that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
But, getting back to the psychopaths and the, schizophrenia and people seeing things. Now, I've dealt with a lot of them. With my 8 years experience in sober living homes, there's a lot of mental health facilities that dumped all their people out on the streets, and a lot of them ended up in these sober living homes. And myself, I drove myself into being schizophrenic by using methamphetamine in a very abusive manner. And the things that I saw were 100% real to me. And so when a schizophrenic's, Bruce has talked about it on his show about having two souls, right? Or three souls, multiple personalities, and one's fighting the other. And when they're walking down the street talking to somebody, there's actually somebody there, right? They actually see it in their mind. And that lady that got shot, I'm sure she was a devout Christian, right? And I'm sure that she was tuned in to God. And because she saw right away, because if you look at if you saw the tattoos on that guy's arms.
Somebody send the video, put it in the chat. I actually want to see it.
Yeah, I'll try to look it up and find it.
All right.
But
Rock and Rio, are you still there? Rock and Rio, are you still there? Rock and Rio, you there?
Perimeter check, maybe. Yeah, no,
Maybe.
I'll see if I can dig it up.
All right. Well, listen.
I'm here.
All right, listen. Are you ready to take some calls?
Yeah, we can take some.
All right, thanks for joining us, Chris. Thanks for joining us, Chris. 718-618-9905. 718-618
I've come so close.
9905. Give us a call. Mr. Rowe, you still there?
Yeah, I was going to comment. I did an interview with a gentleman that worked in the prison system, and he talked about people that did, a lot of meth and things would see the shadow people and would talk to these voices, which actually are two different things. And he was pretty convinced that these are two different entities that are real, and there were experiments that they did to kind of corroborate that these things actually do exist and they aren't in your head.
That's true.
Yeah. So
and the Mexican drug cartels, they actually bless these drug shipments. I think it's got to do with what Santa Marina or Santa Marta, and I've done a lot of evil things in my life and seen a lot of evil things, but never in my life have I ever seen anything more evil than when I was addicted to methamphetamine. It lasted about 3 years.
Did you learn from your mistake?
Absolutely. I got 15 years no drinking now, no sticking needles in my arms. I'm doing pretty good.
You are doing good, but you know what, dude? It's one day at a fucking time. It's into the microcosm. 718-618-9905. Give us a call. Love to hear from you. And don't forget, Mr. Rowe, you got to make that announcement because the moving of the...
could change your life forever. Just one push can end it all together. Why can't we learn from the plague that surrounds us? A glance at you and me, learn from my mistakes. Learn from this mistake. Learn from our mistake. Learn from their mistake.
Hey, it's no accident that targeted individuals from a diagnostic perspective in the psychological community look just like schizophrenics, so on and so forth.
There's no finger to point.
It's like the experimenters knew what the complaints were going to be and turned those into a manual for how to diagnose when someone's crazy.
In my eyes showed you rain. Stormy.
Oh, take a deep breath. Rock and Rio, what do you think about all this noise, man? Is enough is enough? If you were the grandma of the world, would you say enough is enough and smack them in the head, Irish style?
Well, I'd slap them in the back of the head, Italian style.
All right. Well, listen. What's the situation there? Is there an invisible army up in your neck of the woods there in upstate New York? Have you seen an influx and a filling up of all the empty spaces with people from other places that are refugees that need safe space?
Believe it or not, right here, no.
Well, see, that's what I mean. I'm just testing. I'm just testing. I'm just making a test probe out there to a node on the network.
But within about 20 miles, yes.
But in your immediate area, if I didn't tell you about it and you're just going about the business, you're just going to the store, watching TV, would you notice it?
Not here, no. Not specifically here.
So it's like right now, here where I am, there's nothing out here but owls and crickets. But really, the world's bubbling over, about to go into nuclear destruction of Armageddon.
Are they Malak owls or just regular old owls?
I don't know. Is that you, Chris?
Yeah.
I thought you left. You still here?
No, I'm still here, man.
All right,
I'm just
why don't
sitting
you
here
mute
listening.
up? Yeah, mute up, man. We ain't sitting at the bar.
Jesus, Jimmy.
I'm just saying, we ain't sitting at the bar. I was in the middle of saying something. Well, now I forgot what I was...
That man's a ground zero veteran, Jimmy.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what, man? I've been on there. I don't know.
Have you been on ground zero, Jimmy?
5 times or so. 5 or 6 times.
Okay.
As a main guest. And then I've been on there hundreds of times on the phone.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, Jimmy's an OG dude from Ground Zero. Way before.
OG? Okay.
Oh, G is right.
He's exactly right. Hey, how come, look at, where does Ground Zero come from? Go to for guests. Bruce, Epic Journeyman, Dr. McCarran. Huh?
Chris France?
No.
Jimmy, you've gotten a lot of guests up there too, right?
Yeah, I'm the one that got Doc McCarran on there.
You were the very first one to get him on there, and
that's right.
And so we're going to do one of those webinar things, and what I'll do is I'll live record it, and I'll put it on my YouTube channel or in my Discord channel. It's going to be in about a month's time when we get some results from these experiments we're doing. It's going to be quite a thing. We really think that what they've done to us is induce. They're going to induce prion in our bodies within 10, 15, 20 years.
Well, I don't think you're going to have to wait 20 years, bro. It's already going on now. Anyways.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of psychological stuff going on with this, with the campaigns, with the trauma that's going on, the national psychosis that the Americans suffering from. We don't have the psychosis over here like they do in America, It's just crazy. And I don't know why they're doing it to America.
I don't know. We've been talking about it for like 3 years. I don't know.
Yeah, it's everybody here loves America, right? Everybody loves America. They want to go to America. And all I do is I tell them, stay out of the big cities. Go to places like Steamboat Springs or Santa Cruz. Go see my friend Jimmy in Santa Cruz.
Yeah, man. Hey, listen.
Go to somebody. Yeah, exactly.
718-61. Don't come see me. There's too many people here already. Every weekend they come.
Too many damn vampires.
They descend like locusts. But I mean, it's not that it's bad, but the more the merrier, I guess, for some people. But if you live here, you gotta.
Yes, Bruce. Yes, Bruce.
Have you considered over there where you live starting a street gang called the Dead Rabbits and charging into battle with a big cross?
That would be very cool. I could use my scooter. I've been talking about getting a pensioner scooter gang. Right?
Well, don't forget the holy hand grenade of Antioch when you're doing it.
But these guys over here, they don't know much about terroristic tools. I do. Mm-hmm. I know how to do a Timothy McVeigh. I know how to do a lot of things that people here just don't know how to do. But it would take a whole lot.
Do you want to name somebody to bail you out tomorrow?
The most.
Yeah. But it would take a whole lot of.
It would email
European there.
We'll be at the door in an hour, Chris.
In the little town I live in, we are protected pretty well by the rest of England.
Rocket Ray, are you there?
I am here.
Stone the Crow. Anyway. There they go. Down, Stow the Crow. So yeah, man. Neuroscience. Who knew? But I guess, one day it'll be just common knowledge, or people just be walking around in gray jumpsuits, eating slop out of a can, going to their assigned street sweeping job or whatever it is, dusting the fake plants in the underground city. I don't know. Rock and Rio, what do you think? Is it about time? I mean, about space? Time and space, man. That's all it is, Bruce.
I think it's about time something gets done about it.
I know. I'm getting sick and tired of it, to be honest. I mean, one day I won't hold my tongue. But, that day will come someday. I don't know. Today's not that day, though. Today it's Dr. James DiGiordano.
Hey, DiGiordano.
No, there's no D. It's G.
Oh, okay.
Giordano. Giordano.
I'm just gonna throw a pizza in the oven,
I know, but you just got to say DiGiordano. But it's so anyway. So Bruce, I mean, after all these years of all this stuff we've been talking about, come to find out there was apparatus since 1970 practically. That was already at that point, and I mean, we've talked about, one of the things we brought to the table here on the show is the Grateful Dead and the experiments we run off frequencies and mind control, and the way that the Deadheads followed the Grateful Dead around, and they were proud that they helped out, and they were able to help the CIA or the company, man, with these experiments. And it turns out that, I mean, we're pretty much at the point where, at this point, no one could have really imagined that these devices would be all around us at every given moment. And so literally that your phone is around you at any given moment, at every point of every single day. So at the point that phone is there, you are under the spell of whatever's coming out of that phone, whether it's a phone call, whether it's an email, whether it's a chat, or what if it's an unheard signal that's going directly to your brain or to your earphones, that's pumping right into your skull or sucking the information right out of your skull through those headphones you're wearing, those wireless Bluetooth headphones. The thing is people don't see the invisible aspect of all this technology. What's in that Alexa? What chips are in there? What networks are forming unbeknownst to you with all this shit you bought off of Amazon or wherever you bought it? Comes in a package, you plug it in. And it says, here I am, and there's something else in your house that goes, oh, there you are. Well, now we got the piece that was missing to our little puzzle because we were waiting for this one piece. Now we got the whole thing all sitting here right now. And we could just all we want. And no one will be the wiser. We could be skimming information off people and getting money for it. It's the shit you get shot for, man. Because that's what's going on. And no one's unbeknownst to anyone. We talked about a couple weeks ago how much, but we said, they said, 20 grand. 20 grand a year is about what people's information is worth. But realistically, what is the supreme information really worth? What about the secret ways that people can suck and glean information out of a person? Like right now, you got those headphones on. See, mine are plugged in. But if you're wearing wireless headphones, what we're talking about tonight, is this, those headphones. Yeah, you can hear shit through them. Well, what about the stuff you can't hear? There's still. What about sub and ultrasonic frequencies? What about ultra low frequencies and how the human being responds to it? It can be detrimental. It can kill you. Ultra low frequency can kill you. It can also enhance you. So it's just like anything else. It's a double-edged sword, just like that sword you just showed there, Bruce. Rock and Rio. Mr. Rowe, Epic Journeyman. Where are we in this whole thing? Well, you know what, man? Realistically, would you throw your cell phone away? Would anyone give it up right now? No.
Yep. No, I would. Yeah, because it's talked about the ultrasonic, but people don't think about the subharmonics. As a sonar guy, I know about the subharmonics, right? So here's the thing: like you talk about the baseline, base frequencies, and all that stuff, but there's a phenomena that occurs where there's subharmonics generated that fall in line with the unexpected sound generation when the harmonics reinforce each other in a higher spectrum. So you'll see it higher up in maybe the audible spectrum, but at the subaudible spectrum, these things are getting reinforced. These harmonics are being made. And that's what was being done back in the 60s. That's what they were working on with things like that. And those things actually reach your brain level frequencies with your theta waves, with your beta waves, all that stuff, right? The actual frequencies that your brain works on to make a timing signature to stop and interrupt your thoughts or amplify your thoughts in a particular way, right? To make you, to get you in the rhythm, right? To think that way.
I think the antecedent to all of this is simply the soundscape of a modern urban center. And I would start that around 1905, maybe 1915, but they were really big cities, and then the combustion engine came out, the power lines started to go up. So it's really, but now one of the things, and I became acutely aware of this up here, is the soundscape I live in, because it's all natural all the time, unless I'm at the computer or watching a Netflix with my wife. And it changes you dramatically.
Well, that's one of the things. That's one of the things, Bruce, is that naturally we would be in tune with the resonant frequency of the Earth, and that's the only wireless frequencies we'd tuned to. But in modern societies in these cities that you're talking about, there's a saturation. There's electrical, there's lighting saturation, and there's wireless saturation. So people don't ever get a sense of night and day, for example, with these blue lights and stuff that come off these phones around you when you're trying to sleep. Your body never really gets to sleep. You never really get rest. It puts you on tilt. I mean, these are all things that they can target whole societies, just making people tired and fatigued just from these things that are just byproducts of normal activity. In other words, you could use a million frequencies to transmit data. Why are you picking ones that are harmful? In other words, why wouldn't you pick one that would be beneficial? In other words, you're getting hit with it, but it's good. It's a good frequency that makes you a better, quicker thinker or whatever. I mean, why pick the one that makes you go and just hunch your back?
Yeah, don't pick the jamming frequency. Pick the frequency that's like the song. Pick the song frequency, not the jammer that messes up your mind.
Right.
So you can't think straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. So we all think about things. We don't know about harmonics from a base frequency on up, and that's well understood. But so like if you have higher order frequencies, even though they exceed your audio range, you can still find them and analyze them and all that stuff, and it makes sense, right? Because you have a base frequency, there's different harmonics of that. But the subharmonics, that's what we're talking about. And that's what the Grateful Dead was working on, that wall sound. That's what they were working on. That's what Stanford was working on back then. It always comes back to Stanford, doesn't it? Right? It does. And here in America, anyway. And yeah, I mean, there is. So people don't think about reaching down into your mind. That's what you're doing. This you're going to the very frequencies your brain operates on from a higher frequency. People think about the bass harmonics and the amplification of it and going higher frequencies, but they never really understood how you could reach down and create something, a subharmonic, right? And that's what was being worked on. And once you know that, right, it's like, well, wait a minute. What about all these signals that are out there? What about the way they're operating? What about all this other stuff that's coming out there? Can it influence us? Can it change our biorhythms, essentially?
Yes.
It can.
Yes, it can. Like I'm saying, you can go on YouTube right now and go over there and you'll look at all 528 this, all these different frequencies. Listen to this. It'll like clear you out. It'll clean your chakra, this and that. I mean, we've seen ozone generators. We've seen orgone energy. We've seen these orgone devices, and then we've seen energized orgone devices that change the cloud or the color of the aura of the person that's holding it. So the thing is like we could all be sitting there radiating some, because of this harmonic or this resonant frequency of the earth, that we would walking around barefoot and we're all resonating. We might be sitting there, vibrating this hue, and that's why we're called human. It's because we used to be, Now we're just beat down into these 8-foot boxes, Bruce. All the ceilings are 8 feet. Everything's a box. It's a square. You're in a square box.
8-Foot Box Bruce is his first album, right? Bruce, you gotta name it that, man. It's good, right?
I'm living in my 8-foot box.
It's like Clever Fading. Yeah.
Epic Journeyman said, reach down, and I said, Temple is dog, man. It's into the microcosm.
Glasses and glitter in your hair.
Listen to the microcosm. Temple of the Dog. Woof. 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 All right. Rock and Rio is still there.
Yeah.
So, tomorrow night, we got to get into this Disney thing and this Epcot Center and the model for these 15-minute cities and this secret society that's not fake. They say it's fake, don't they?
Yeah.
They say it's fake, but we don't say it. We say no, it's not fake. That's it. It's like the gargoyle at the Denver airport. You know?
You know, the city that Disney designed was physically a different design, but it's the same concept. He just did it in a wagon wheel form instead of a linear city.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so now that we have higher speed transport and everything, they're talking about the 15-minute walled city.
Did he square the circle?
Yeah, they squared the circle exactly.
Exactamundo. All right, well, listen. We're going to talk about Plus Ultra, Bruce. Are you into it? Do you know about it? Plus Ultra?
No, no idea.
The savior.
Dig into that one, Bruce. You'll like it.
He can come tomorrow night, or he can listen. Because tomorrow night we're going to talk about it. But we can talk a little bit about it right now before we go, because we have about 12, 18 minutes left, something like that. But just to let people know what we're going to be talking about tomorrow night over on YouTube. You can join us over there, 7 o'clock Pacific, into the Microcosm and Jimmy Jane on YouTube. And in the meantime, Plus Ultra, so there's a symbol, Spain, Dr. Rowe. It's going to Spain. Now, Plus Ultra. What's the connection to Spain that you made, Rock and Rio? You said the coloring was the same, Spain, something or other.
Yeah, the coat of arms.
The coat of arms is
coloring is very similar.
And now
Plus Ultra.
And plus
of Spain.
And so you cut out there. What'd you say?
I said it. Plus Ultra is part of the is a slogan for the motto of Spain.
Right. So, Mr. Rowe, are you going to join the Plus Ultra over there in Spain? Because I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why they keep it quiet over there. And you know, like, isn't it like 70% of the country of Spain is vacant? There's only
because we're all in California, right? That means far beyond. I mean, that's what it means. So it's interesting, right?
I know.
Spanish national motto.
That's what I'm saying. Well, listen. How about this, Epic Journeyman? Tomorrow, you take a look at Spain and bring some material to the table on Spain, because Plus Ultra has something to do with Spain, and it has to do with like the down at Mar-a-Lago. Now you said Rio.
Yeah, those are the same panels from the Gaudi Park in Barcelona. Yeah, they are.
And Rio, you said there was a Plus Ultra coat of arms on the wall there too, wasn't there not?
Yeah. The picture I had is of Donald in Mar-a-Lago, and if you look at the tiles that are behind him, it is the same tiles that Epic was referring to with McAfee.
Mm-hmm.
And in the corner it says Plus Ultra. Oh, we have a caller coming in here. Let's see.
All right. So, Epic Journeyman, it looks like McAfee's tying into Plus. Wonder if he was Plus Ultra. I don't know.
You made me break out my laptop. I was looking for those pictures. They're not on this computer.
Well, tomorrow night. Just get them for tomorrow night. It was promptu. Okay. It was impromptu. All right. Who's calling us? 372.
372. Hello.
372. You're on the air. 372. Hung up. I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know what happened.
Well, let's find out who 372 was.
How are you going to do that, man?
I have my ways.
You have mental powers far beyond those.
You want a vacation to Barcelona there, Jimmy? You just have to sign up. Show up for the presentation next Tuesday.
The ability to far beyond those of mortal men. Bruce McDonald.
Oh, 372 is calling back.
Ah, I see.
Technical mishap.
Could be. There's all kinds of stuff going on. It's like a gang of monkeys over in Thailand or whatever it is. They steal your shit and run away laughing.
Right, pina colada, right?
They run away, steal your shit and run away laughing. And then if you say anything, they turn around with AK-47s and shoot at you. Go ahead, make you dance, motherfucker. All right. Go ahead. It's 372. Go ahead. You're on the air. 372. What happened?
Hello. I don't know. They're there. 372.
I see the phone on Skype. It's there.
It's there, but for some reason we can't hear them. They can hear us, but we can't hear them. It's like those devices I was talking about. Someone's just calling in to listen. All right, there. Now we hear you. Yeah, we hear you now. Turn down your radio. There they go. Is that the hijacker, dude?
I don't know. I'm looking him up right now.
That's the hijacker, I think. He's gone berserk. He's got a pair of headphones on. He's getting subsonic messaging, telling him to go berserk.
Right, the subharmonics.
Now's the time.
Rattling around.
The message. Here's messaging. Now's the time to go berserk. The woods are dark and also deep. Miles to go before you sleep. I fell asleep. I hypnotized myself. Well, it is late.
You abducted yourself. That's a new phenomenon, you know. Self-abduction.
I know.
Right.
I know. Well, it turns out the war was always in your mind, and the abduction was always you abducted yourself. Bruce is getting abducted right now. He's panning way back. He's getting smaller. It's like he's in space, and
find a spirit animal who's going to be running like a jaguar through the jungle.
No, it looked like he's in space, and he's in his spacesuit, and his line broke away from the ship, and he was floating back.
Another caller.
Yeah.
323. Yep, it's the
my iPhone continuity camera working in sync with my M-class chip Mac Mini.
Well. All right.
I went hog wild into this Mac world after I got that notebook.
We only got 12 minutes left. We only got
323.
Yeah, that.
Are you there?
323. That's
Yo. Yeah, Jimmy, Rocket Rio, Epic, Bruce, Chris, all you guys, love you.
We love you too. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we're talking about the neuro. Neuroscience. There's neuropeptides. There's neuroreceptors. There's all that stuff that Richard Allen Miller used to talk about.
Exactly.
Not just.
That's what they were saying. They were saying.
Brain too.
Yeah, they were saying that they could cause a cavitation to your brain, and then skim the information that you generate. They could suck your creativity out of your skull with this.
That's right. The cavitation. Yep. And also, Doc Graham would also talk to this woman named Raven, and she would have the witching hour, and she would talk about how she was TI'd by Neil Peart, drummer for Rush.
Yeah, Solaris Blue
and
Raven.
That lady was a trip too.
Solaris is on Revolution Radio on Saturday nights at 9 o'clock Pacific with the witching hour still. So you can catch her.
She's a trip. She talks super fast. Anyway, I'm out, guy. I'm in the desert. I'm looking for the Hopis, and the Hopis are really on the perimeter.
All right, well, check it out. If you see any
people when you find them,
dude, if you see any red-haired giants, you gotta book, because they're hungry and they're looking for man corn in the desert, and that's where they live. That's where they find it.
The ginger spice.
Ginger spice.
All right. Thanks for calling, man. We appreciate you. There he goes.
It's like the Blue Oyster Cult song,
Yeah.
Man Corn in the Desert.
323.
So it's
there
side 2 of Spectres, right?
Yeah, well, there they were. They were in Palm
Golden
Springs.
Age of Leather.
They were in Palm Springs, right. Don't we still have that other caller, Rio?
No, 372 is...
For some reason, they can't connect.
Can't connect. Well, they're there. They're connected. They're just not talking.
No. All right, well, maybe they're just trying to listen. Maybe they're trying to be covert and just jack in, but we see their number. They don't know it. It's like when somebody thinks they're invisible, they're just walking around. But you can see him plain as day. He's like, hey, dude, you know what? You're not invisible. You know that, right? Bruce, you put your invisible cloak on and you think you're invisible. Everybody else can see you. You're not invisible, dude. We could see you.
How can they see me?
We could see you, dude.
Steven Seagal, Hard to Kill. There's a scene where he's trying to sneak up on the Jamaican drug lord. He's got his infrared glasses on, night vision glasses. He's walking by these sconce lights, like in broad daylight, like looking all ninja-like, walking around, stealthy and stuff. It's like, dude, they can see you. Because lights are on, right? it was like one of those, you know,
man, I bet you if you were in a closed environment, you could convince somebody they were invisible.
Well, it's a scene from Little Big Man, right?
Like if everybody in the house pretended like they couldn't see somebody. It's like, dude, I can hear you, but I can't see you. I can hear you. Sounds like you're here at Epic Journeyman, but I can't see you really.
Yeah, I can't see him.
You're invisible. Everyone's invisible here except for Bruce. And now at this point, I got to wonder if he's deep faking my ass with that Apple M5. He could be over there AI in my ass right now. He's like, you know what? I'm busy.
Oh, man.
He's like, I'm busy. I don't have time. AI.
So, Jimmy, you're going to love this.
Make me a video.
The reason that 372 hung up is because it's a scam caller.
Nice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Trying to sell us a cruise to the South Pacific.
We're calling because we hear you have issues with your Windows. We just need you to send $5,000 in Apple iCard gifts.
right.
Yeah,
man, it's always something.
Well, I mean, I get those calls all day long because the person who had this phone number to us previously
was
himself a scammer. He was a mortgage consultant scammer and a travel agency scammer. So I still get calls for people looking for that guy. But it's funny because the scammers all call each other.
I'll tell you what, man. It's been a long ass week, you know, and the month is almost over. It's like what, the 10th? Yesterday was the 8th.
It's not over. It's a 31-day month. That just feels like it should be over by now. This is a long, pretty month. It's a long month.
This week has been like, there's been like a year's worth of news happening. This shit is happening so fast.
We didn't even talk about the fact that Ukraine is 30 miles into Russia right now.
I know.
And still going. Like nobody's even stopping them. They're doing like that Wagner Group thing where they're on their way to Moscow, right? I mean, they're on their way to Kursk right now, and yeah, nobody's stopping them. They're going to stop themselves, obviously, but you just wonder, like, what if they don't? What if they just keep going, right?
I don't know,
it's a trip,
man. I'll tell you this: I just want to kick back, man. I don't want any problems. You know, I'm like Rambo. You know what I mean? I just want to walk around. Right. I want to walk around in the mountains.
Don't force me to get a haircut. I don't need a haircut. I'm good. I'm fine. Just leave me alone.
That's what I mean. I just want to walk around in the mountains, you know, see the fog, you know, nice and quiet. I don't bother anybody, you know? Why can't it just be nice, Bruce? Why can't everybody be on the mountain with Bruce? That, you know what, dude? You should start a whole series. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna send it to your headphones right now into your skull. I'm gonna send it into your headphones, into your skull right now. Start this. On the mountain with Bruce, and you just sit there and talk about like deep.
Dude, I'm literally in the safest place in the world, man. This is like Sinaloa territory now. Nothing bad happens here.
Don't say that, man.
I swear to God.
Don't say that.
Yeah.
Don't say it, man. Don't tempt the universe, because the universe, you know, it gives you what you ask for, doesn't it?
Well, I'm not that important an energy source in the overall energy system in these mountains. I wouldn't be able to affect that.
20 years ago, I was going to write a book called The Power of Negative Thinking. because it's
probably be a multimillionaire now if you had done that, actually.
I know, because the thing is, man, whatever you think is always the opposite, you know? So I don't know. If you think negative,
like George Costanza, do the opposite.
Exactly. I did that, man. I watched that episode, and I went, you know what, man? I'm gonna do that. Everything that I was gonna do that I would have done before, I won't do that this time. I'll do something else. I'll do the opposite of that. And I started doing that shit, and literally my whole life changed, man. I'm not even kidding. All right, listen. That's a story for another time. All right, take it all away.
Peace out.
Go ahead.
Good night, everybody.
God bless.
We'll see you tomorrow night. Freeworld.fm, Independent Broadcast Network. See you YouTube. We'll see you. Thanks for being here.
Some of us, we're hardly ever here. The rest of us, we're born to disappear. How do I stop myself from being just a number? How will I hold my head to keep from going under? Down to the wire, I wanted water, but I'll walk through the fire. If this is what it takes to take me even higher, then I'll come through like I do when the world keeps testing me, testing me, testing me. How did they find me here? What do they want from me? All of these vultures hiding right outside my door. I hear them whispering, they're trying to ride it out. They've never gone this long without a kill before. Down to the wire, I wanted water, but I'll walk through the fire. If this is what it takes to take me even higher, then I'll come through like I do when the world keeps testing me, testing me, testing me.
What would you do if you thought you knew the exact day World War III would break out, and who might start it, where it might be fought, and who might be left when it was over? Where would you go? How would you protect yourself?